hosting. Oh fuck!
This is gonna be an interesting one.
Why the hell does the thing sound like a fucking
smoker?
I was gonna make a reference no one was gonna get, so then I had to backpedal.
Okay.
Sounds like he had a fucking trachea replaced, like with the fucking voice box shit.
Now recording. All right, guys, let's begin our first session.
All right, so the game I chose is Final Fantasy XVI. The reason I chose it is, despite the game's flaws, I give a lot of leniency when I think a game has achieved something extraordinary. And with a dev team that is as altruistic as this one, you have to take the good with the bad, and that's about it. Also, I literally picked a game to see how Thomas and Seth would react to the main characters being brothers instead of the usual shit.
Oh, that's an interesting choice.
I was curious about that because I was like, man, this is a very like brotherly game, and also Joshua looks like a blonde twink, kind of like my brother.
And Clive looks like, I don't know. I can't think of anything creative to insult Thomas without just outright sounding mean, so I'm going to leave it at that.
You son of a bitch.
Clive looks like a dumb pussy.
He looks like a dumb pussy. Thomas also looks like a dumb pussy. Therefore, the corollaries are clear.
Listen, I'm a smart pussy.
You got a nice dick root, though.
Well, there's a mod for that, so, you know.
You don't even need the mod, dude. There's like 2 scenes where he's naked as fuck. You can see basically everything but his dick.
Yeah, that's true.
Can we actually talk about, like, before we start getting into the sections, I did not expect almost full nudity in a Square Enix game. Is that, like, a thing now?
My favorite part of that...
I think it's just this one. I don't know if they'll ever do it again.
What I loved was going into the first cutscene with nudity, a.k.a. Benedicta cucking Hugo, I think. And I immediately went into the photo mode option in the pause menu. And the tutorial thing that pops up is like, some cutscenes may not allow for full camera control. I was like, you fuckers, you saw right through me.
Oh, that's great. Well, let's just go ahead and jump into our gameplay section. I'm sure you guys will have a lot. I have a lot. I'm kind of a dissenting voice, I think, among the common opinion here, but we'll see where it goes. So I wrote down a bunch of questions for what we're going to do for each, or like questions I'm going to ask you guys for these segments, just because I don't want my like negativity of the game to like get in the way of the discussion, but also that in combination with the fact that my experience of the game was not the best, but probably because I had a pirated copy and it just crashed after every single boss. I try to be objective with my like criticisms and stuff that I'll bring up, but let's just start talking about
I mean, there's plenty.
So like what worked for you? Well, actually, before we get into that, what exactly do you guys qualify as gameplay in this game? So like obviously the combat is gameplay, but if you're doing fetch quests for 2 hours straight, are we going to qualify that as gameplay or as narrative? Gameplay.
It's just narrative to me, and I liked it. But
I mean, it's 2 parts.
It's not for everybody.
What you do in the side quest is gameplay. What you experience in the side quest is narrative.
Okay. Yeah, so like if we're talking about the content of the gameplay of those side quests, try to just because there's going to be a lot of overlap, I think, with a lot of this, which is a whole thing to talk about in and of itself. But just for the gameplay section, try to keep it to kind of what Sesh said, the actual content of what you're doing in the side quests and your experience of it. Does anyone have something specific they want to talk about with the combat?
I thought the combat got a lot better as the game aged. Like, I felt like every new icon that you unlock, like, added a completely new dimension to the possibilities of combat in a very positive way. Like, even all the way up to the last one that you get, like, it's still, like, fun as fuck.
Yeah, you got Stendhal.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Zantetsuken level 5, everything until the end of the game. It was fucking sweet.
Yeah, the best is when you get 2 of them during the stagger.
Oh, that'd be sick. But yeah, I thought the combat was just fucking sweet, and it aged like wine throughout the game.
Sorry, go ahead, Tish.
I was just gonna say, I think it peaked kind of like when it gave you 6 skills, and then I think kind of everything it just added didn't really enhance the experience for me. But I also didn't touch Odin at all because I already had like busted shit, and I was like, I don't want to
Oh,
learn new
you would
shit.
have loved Odin, I promise.
Yeah,
I
Odin's
fucking
nuts.
promise.
It's
It-
like Odin is
It's
Stanford
Stendhal.
Kelly's pick a top
AoE
tier.
Stendhal.
Yeah, AoE Stendhal. That's a good way of putting it.
Did you guys feel some amount of clunkiness in the combat? When I say that, I don't mean it in a bad way. But did you feel a little bit of clunkiness in it?
It's not
Um,
as arcadey as like a Devil May Cry.
It's
Yeah.
close though.
I think the clunkiest aspect of the combat for me was the fucking camera. I felt like I was fighting with the camera like very, very
Yeah.
often.
Yeah, that'll be something I definitely want to
Yeah,
talk
I
about
have
in the
a
UI
unique
section.
I have a unique experience. I didn't have to worry about anything, and it was amazing. It was like watching a movie, doing my full journalist mode playthrough.
Because like the reason I bring it up is because I actually really like the clunkiness a lot. Like for example, there's that weird pause when you dodge, but like you don't actually dodge an ability. You're just like using it to move. There's like a second long pause or something. I actually like that a lot because it made it so when you did get the dodges off, it felt a lot better.
Yeah, because you could capitalize on it. Because your brain, like at least my brain is a bit slower for that kind of thing. My reactions are bad, so it does help me a lot.
I think it's cool. Like the dodge mechanic's cool when you're dealing with like normal fights and everything, but when you fight something that you're dodging multiple times in a row, that mechanic sucks like Mondo shit. Where you just slow down and then you do it again, then you do it again, and like clearly there's some attacks like Meteor and shit that's designed to be like dodged multiple times. So like I don't know, I thought it felt extremely clunky in those kind of spots.
I don't know.
You're
My
saying
thing
when
was
you're saying when you like dodge, like if it's a two
You're
or three
dodging the
part
dodge.
attack, you dodge multiple
Yeah,
times in a row.
exactly.
Did you like that in Automata or did you not like it?
I don't even remember that. Nier doesn't have a slowdown, does it?
it does.
It
It
does.
Yeah,
was
which time?
It was that was literally the comparison I was going to make because dodging in this game feels 1-to-1 with Automata, like for better and for worse. Because in this game, I felt like it was impossible to die because there's such a small gap in between like
Yeah.
pressing dodge where you just sit there and you mash it and you're going to be fine and then you just start hitting them again, which was the
Yeah,
exact same thing in Automata.
yeah. That's why the number one thing when I was looking for mods, I was looking for things to make the game way harder because I knew it
Yeah.
was bitch easy. But the one that I found required this mod loader, and it had like
Yep.
4 steps to install. I was like, fuck that,
Same.
dude.
That was my experience too. Not for difficulty mods, but literally like
The
quality
Like
nude
control.
any
mods.
mod.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the nude mod.
Um, yeah, I mean, to Ben's point, like the lack of real challenge throughout the whole game kind of sucked. Like the main challenge was remembering the fucking buttons for the first 20 hours of the game.
Did you
So
guys
we
did you guys die on any bosses?
Nope,
I died
not even close.
once on the first S rank because my AI didn't have enough potions to chug. Because I didn't go back to I didn't go back to replenish them.
I died in one of the Hugo fights because I was playing on Parsec and learning keyboard controls.
Yeah, the only
I
time I
died
even
twice because I suck.
I only got remotely close to dying on Behemoth Prime. And it's only because fucking I got stuck between his ball sack when he was casting Maelstrom and did like 2,000 damage to me, but I didn't even have to use like the auto revive, auto revive potion or anything. So other than that, it wasn't even close to death.
We didn't do the DLCs for this. Ben, have you played the DLCs?
No, but I have done New Game Plus, which is significantly different. So what happens
Really?
I
is, yeah,
In like
I mostly
content?
ask because one of the DLCs is like very very combat focused with like a Omega weapon style boss and shit.
yeah, I didn't do them, but New Game Plus, there are significant system differences. So the level cap in normal mode is 50, and the level cap in New Game Plus is 100. You can also unlock Final Fantasy mode, which is just hard mode basically. Things are harder. The bosses have more attack patterns, but and I guess you could say it's like 10 times harder. I could just make a number like that, but the problem is the base difficulty is 0, so 0 times 10 is still 0. But the biggest changes are actually in progression. So you probably noticed that in your first playthrough you collected like a ton of crafting materials and you never used them.
Yep.
So what you want to do is that if you do want to do New Game Plus, you go back to your clear save, you craft Ultimo Weapon real quick, because that unlocks after you beat the game. You buy or obtain one of every accessory that you like using, and then you just liquidate all your money into any crafting materials. Then you start New Game Plus, because um you have to craft all the weapons again. They're more powerful versions, and the ultimate weapon that you get from your clear save will last you a while before you have to actually upgrade. The accessories, when you get the extra copy in your new playthrough, you can combine it with the original playthrough's copy to get like a +1 and then like a +2, and I think it maxes out +3. But you'd have to play the game like 4 times. I haven't actually done it, so I don't actually know how that works. But I've done at least the +1.
That's
So,
insane.
and I Googled it and I saw someone said it goes up to +3. So that's why I assume you can just replay the game again and then make the accessories stronger. But no one's gonna do that.
Is there
'Cause
actual content, like new bosses and shit, or no?
I don't think so. Just the DLC.
Gotcha.
How did you guys feel about the tech tree?
I
Right.
l- you mean I don't know the
Go
functionality
ahead,
or the way it
Thomas.
looked.
Go ahead, Thomas. You had strong feelings on it?
I just mean one of my big criticisms about this game is like the just overall lack of like character customization. And I think the lack of a like real skill tree goes into that pretty hard. Like it's not I don't really consider a skill tree like it's not a tree. It's just here's your skills, you can upgrade them. There's no tree, there's no like decision. It's just, oh, I like this one, I'm gonna dump points in here. And that's like the entire extent of how you can customize Clive. And it's really boring because like one thing I was wondering really early on was I wonder if I can do like a magic build. Like obviously I can look at this character and know that that's not what they want you to do, but I wonder if I can. And there's just like no way. And then every weapon gives you like the same stats for physical and magic. It's there just wasn't enough meat on them
Yeah,
bones.
there's nothing. There's
I
nothing at
I
all.
I very much agree. I'm gonna have the most to say when we have heavy criticisms towards the game. I think there were two major disappointing moments for me early on in the game after I got like the second and third icons. The first was when I was upgrading the abilities and I bring up the screen to look at what they do, and the mastery for all of them just lets me equip it to a different icon, which that's cool, I guess, but now you're functionally removing like 50% of the like potential evolution for each of the abilities, and that's lame to me. And then that's a lot of it is like cooldown reduction, which is also kind of boring. Whereas the coolest one I thought was the Remu. I forget how to pronounce them. The electric guy's super spear, where it throws a second one. Like that's fucking awesome. And the second moment was when I realized that you could not have mastery to change it to any icon for the circle buttons, the like
Right.
the dash or the block or whatever. I was very disappointed that you couldn't equip those to any icon.
That's
Well,
that
they
is
are
the
the
icon.
icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, like those are the icon. Those are why would you need to map that onto a different icon? Because that's literally the icon.
Wait, I might not have thought this through. I might be dumb.
I mean,
Well, regardless,
if you're saying you
I
want to,
swear there was a moment where it mattered.
It just matters for if you don't have AP and you want to put like the big blowy shit on, like, and you hate the circles that you have. But like, let's say you want to use fucking Rama, but you don't have enough AP to like master his triangle. You have to use his shitty ass fucking circle instead of using like one of the good circles.
Yeah, that was exactly what was happening. I
Yeah.
didn't want to use. Yeah, that's what happened.
Hey,
I
so
didn't get
really
far enough in the
goes
game to
away.
have enough
Yeah.
AP to. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, that's an unfortunate thing because like the expected playstyle is that during your new game plus playthrough, you get enough AP to literally just unlock and master everything,
Yeah.
and you just have complete freedom.
I feel
It
like I
just
was
would have
pretty
been
close to
nice
doing
because
that.
because I wanted to use two of Rama's abilities very much, but I didn't want to master them immediately. I wanted to master, I think,
Yeah.
the Phoenix ones first, but I had to use Rama's B.
I think it's a clunky
Yeah, I
weird
mean,
system.
that was, I guess now that you're saying that, that was true for me with Bahamut. Like, Bahamut's B is like the worst fucking shit on the planet
So
Earth,
bad.
but I didn't want to fucking dump 6,000 points into Giga
Yep.
Flare.
I
I
think
don't
the
know.
game's
I
got
thought it
like
was pretty easy to just respec because you could just move all the
that
points
part was
from
great.
something else to the other one.
Yeah, and I mean, having one bad B thing is not a big deal because, like, for me, Shiva's replaced Phoenix's in like the what the fuck this is broken tier, and then Odin's B is like core to the entire game
Yeah, that's
after you
AoE
unlock them.
Sentinel. Yeah, you never do anything
Yeah,
else.
like literally no other B matters after you unlock Odin, unless you need to dodge with Shiva.
Also, I wanted to bring up this question. Did anyone have a positive experience with QuickTime events?
no.
QuickTime events are
I
AIDS.
didn't really mind them at all, but I wouldn't mind them going away.
I
Yeah,
was
like
enjoying.
why are they in the game?
I was enjoying memeing them every time they show up. I'd take my controller, look at it, look at the screen, look at my controller, then press
Oh
the
yeah,
button.
because
It
I
still
think
had 3
that
seconds
you
left.
can't die in them, right? Like you could just leave it there forever.
Oh, I was supposed to
Like
look
the
up like a
mashing ones?
compilation of what happens if you fuck up because like
I don't
fucked
think you
up some of
can.
the early.
I
So-
tapped out for one once and I did miss it, and I think I took like
You
100.
took
Oh, I
damage,
don't mean
yeah.
the timing ones. I mean the mashing ones. You could just
Oh, those I
I
don't know.
I did not dodge a single one. This is just for science. I didn't dodge a single one in the Bahamut Phoenix Ifrit versus Ultima cutscene, and I didn't die. I just didn't dodge any of them. I
Dude.
attacked on all of them. I just didn't dodge any of them.
I was like fine with them until literally the end of the game where you do it 47 times in a fucking row and I wanted to die.
Yeah, I got really sick of the fucking mash square,
Yep.
but like you're just gonna mash square for X amount of seconds. It's not gonna stop when you actually pass the check. That shit drove me crazy.
I just
And,
think
like-
the whole thing at the end drove me crazy. Like, Jesus Christ, that was not fun.
And like part of the reason I bring it up is because I think that will become my clear criticism of the game as we move forward, is that I just feel like this game had two very different ideas for what it wanted to be, and there are several different conflicting mechanisms, mechanics, etc. going on in the game that add to that. If the game takes control away from me during a sick ass combat, which is every single icon fight, they're all fucking sick. If it takes control away from me for a cutscene, then I just want to set my controller down and enjoy the little like minute long, short movie that I'm about to watch. I'm okay with that. I'll do it. But when it like forces me to take my controller back in my hands, now I'm stressed out. It's like, oh shit, I was trying to enjoy this, and now I have to mash X. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
drove me
should have
crazy
added
too.
they should have added like an accessibility thing that just says like just turn the shit off. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so funny enough, in my notes I have 3 columns: good, bad, and ugly. There's 4 things in the ugly column, and number 3 says QuickTime events are hate crimes. And then number 4, I think, is gonna pretty much nail what you've been saying on the head, Seth, which is it says, those jokes people make, like, quote, this could have been an email. A lot of the way I feel about this game is that, quote, it could have just been a cutscene. What's the point of all these fetch quests? What's the point of making me travel across the map to spread ashes? What's the point of so much other shit? Just because I'm taking actions and pressing buttons on my controller doesn't mean that I'm engaged, and this game really makes you think that you will be.
Yeah, and like that's the thing, that it's literally conflicted between trying to be a movie and trying to be like a high stakes, epic scale Devil May Cry combat game.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
because it's a game and not a movie, they have to remind you that you're playing a game by making you hold right trigger to open
Yeah.
a door.
For what it's at least for the side quest specifically, for what it's worth, it is optional because I mean I honestly enjoyed the side quests a lot, but I know that I'm in the very much the minority, so I'm glad they're there and I'm glad they're optional.
Did you enjoy the gameplay of the side quests or the narrative of them?
Both.
Yeah, I only like the narrative.
I mean, Ben's a Final Fantasy 14 enjoyer, so
Exactly.
yeah, these side quests are very
That
much
and
Final
that's
Fantasy
why
14.
that's why I'm glad that they're optional because I know that lots of people don't like it. And here's like the because and this playthrough I specifically played through all of them and I didn't skip all the dialogue and I internalized everything. And in doing that, I learned what the developers were going for with the side quests. And not saying that this is exactly what they were doing. It just seems obvious to me what they were doing. And that like if you play a CRPG, you know like the ending slides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your the side quests when you play them through the completion is basically setting up the ending slides for what happens after Clive dies, basically.
Yeah,
And
it was
I like
actually
learning the fates of literally every character and how they're gonna keep living on after everything ends.
yeah, for sure. I was actually pretty surprised when they didn't like clean some. I mean, there was a little bit of it, but I was surprised they didn't go back after he died and kind of
Like,
Yep.
tighten things
yeah,
up
I
as
learned
well.
the fates of literally every NPC in the game basically because I did all the side quests.
I will say, I think my opinion of the side quests might have shifted if I actually did them after the first like few hours.
No, they get
But
worse. Gameplay wise.
well, I figured they were never going to be interesting from like a gameplay mechanical
Nope.
perspective, but I did like the world building aspect of them a
Yep.
lot.
The
Uh,
narrative's great for them.
yeah, the only thing was I felt so pressed for time. I didn't feel like I could like stop and do
Mhm.
them.
Yeah, I will say there was an element of that for me, especially. That was part of the reason that I said the thing at the start, because just because I had so little time to play, I don't feel like I got like a true experience, which is partly my fault. I could have asked for another week, but I digress.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you really missed out on that much, especially not like if you didn't like the how the story of the game, then I think the side quests only detract from your experience.
Yeah, I think
Well,
if you weren't like fully hooked in after everything that happens with Bahamut, then everything after that's just I mean, it's not as good.
I mean, it's possible that I might have been, but when the heights of the game, which are like fucking orders of magnitude higher than everything else of the game, is
Mhm.
like the experience of that is reduced by having to do it twice every time. That's also
Yeah.
gonna fuck me up.
No,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
that would be butt ass
I had
for
to do that a
sure.
couple times because my game would crash if I had it open for 70 minutes at a time.
Yep, that's pretty much what was happening with me.
Yeah, that's not a piracy thing for me. That was just literally, I don't think it was some shit with the graphics card I have. And people were like, downgrade your drivers to like 12 drivers ago. And I was like, ah, fuck off.
And it got to the point with Bahamut where I knew like, okay, I know that I'm about to step into a big boss, so I'm gonna restart
Yep.
my game.
That's
And
what I was doing.
it still crashed even
Oh,
when
yeah,
I was
you were
skipping
crashing.
cutscenes.
Yeah, it must be like a memory leak thing or something then. Because,
I
yeah,
think
that's
so.
for me, it was almost like 70 minutes exactly every time. Yeah, I think that I do want to say like I do think that like the gameplay that they have, obviously because it's the Devil May Cry director, like it was fucking fun as fuck, and it was like very engaging. But there's just there wasn't like any difficulty to it, which I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
they left a
none
lot of
at
shit on the
all.
table.
And like me personally with gameplay, I'm fine when there's not difficulty to it as long as it's fun. My big issue with the gameplay in this game is that I just whenever I wanted more of it, it would not give it to me.
I mean, and to layer on gameplay, I think the gearing system was atrociously bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
really
it
Oh
bad.
was
yeah,
non-existent. That's why I didn't care about doing the journalist mode because I knew I wasn't missing out on anything.
Yeah, I used the Berserker ring and then the give me more AP and XP accessories the whole game. And every time I get a new one, it'd be like reduce cooldown by 8 seconds, and I'd be like, nope, nope.
and
Well,
the
actually, the reduction of cooldown on Shiva's ultimate is probably the best item in the game. But other than that, yeah,
But it's
I
like
think
it's
the thing
10%. That feels so negligible. If it was like 50%, I'd be like,
yeah,
oh
but
shit,
it's the
we're
most
cooking.
broken move in the
Yeah,
game. So
true.
just being able to do it more often is incredible.
True, but make it like fucking Expedition 33 where I'm going to the fucking moon. Don't make it like fucking 5%. Like the Genji glove
Yeah.
being
Yeah,
5% damage increase, I looked at it and just laughed.
Yeah, the accessories were very, very disappointing, like big time.
even though the Berserker ring is so fucking sick.
That one was great. And they give it to you so
yeah.
early and you're like, fuck yeah. And then every other accessory is boring as shit.
I think they gave it to you early because they knew that people would not do the rest of the side quests.
Dude, the rest of those rewards are so bad. It's crazy. The
I
renowned shit is
did
a
just
wasted time.
I did just process in the moment. I think the reason why I hated the like kind of come down that you get after the heights of each boss, where it's like, okay, I just want more combat. I just want more combat. The reason is because after the bosses, which are again the heights of the game, that's when you get the new icon. You get the new icon. You really want to try it out, but the game is like, oh, we just gave him the fucking Titan fight. We got to like slow down, pump the brakes a little bit, bud. But like, no, I just got a new icon. I want to try it out.
I mean, to be fair, with that part specifically, like it's not very long from where you go from just killed Hugo to holy fuck, Bahamut is blowing up Sonbrek. So like you definitely need like a little refractory period in there.
Yeah.
But the one that they
Not
chose was
3 of them.
horrendous.
Not
Yeah.
letting off Steam 3.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
And I do actually love Mid as a character, but still, that shit was heinous.
I think that the game definitely could have benefited from like mini games and shit. Because I think Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth was the opposite of this game, where every single side quest you did was extremely substantial and like a crazy fucking mini game that could be a whole game in and of itself. And I think that's too much.
I don't think I would like that personally, but that's just me.
I would just like a little bit. Like, give me like a card game or something that I could play, like Triple Triad or something.
I mean,
give me something.
I think something totally optional would be fine.
Yeah, like every fucking Final Fantasy game has some kind of mini game to like pull you away from like all the other shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't mind like a triple triad, but I wouldn't like the things that Sesh is talking about.
Well, I don't want it to be what Rebirth was. I'm saying the Rebirth has the opposite problem of everything's too much.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought you wanted that. Okay,
no.
We're good.
I want did you play Queen's Gambit or whatever the fuck it's called?
Yeah. I
like,
actually love that shit.
That card game's awesome. It's like a real card game.
It's so good.
So if this game just had something like that, like just something to break up the monotony of like the ridiculously like nothing that is the side quests.
It needed to go out. Now that I think about it, I didn't even consider that until you guys said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
it's the fucking 14 engine. They should have just taken one of the fucking gold stocks for minigames.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Literally,
Chocobo racing, fucking anything. Mahjong. I mean, obviously you're gonna lose a lot of people with that, but just give me like anything else to do other than the side quest being just go from A to B, fight a thing, go back to A, and then in the late game let's go A to B, fight a thing, B to C, fight a thing, and then C back to A. That's every side quest.
Yeah, like in my fucking reasons I don't think this is a Final Fantasy game, which is not something I want to talk about here, but like literally one of those bullet points was, where's the fucking mini games?
Yeah,
like, where are they?
It's crazy. It's such a disappointment to me. But again, if you want that, just play
I'm pretty indifferent to that, but I understand that people care.
I mean, I will say I agree somewhat with Ben here, just because I can respect the developer vision of what they were going for with the narrative and like the commitment to the side quests being that shitty. Like truly, I can kind of appreciate that, and I think that minigames would like contradict that view. I think the last question that I have for you guys before we move on to the next section, kind of just a feeler question. Did you guys ever get overwhelmed from the scale of the boss fights, the icon boss fights?
No.
The first time I played a little bit, but like this is the third time, so no.
By overwhelmed, I mean like, was it too much? Not like, oh my god, like phobia is kicking in. I just mean, is it too much?
I thought Titan was.
Yeah, Titan maybe a little bit, and Bahamut didn't feel as big, and Odin didn't feel as big. So it really was just Titan was like the big like kicker in the balls.
I mean, I don't really want to talk about like Odin's narrative impact versus his like gameplay badassery because that's kind of next section. But like, yeah, Odin should have been the one that was hard because he's the only thing that put up any sort of a fight against anything, and then like he just dies like immediately. Like he just goes from like you stab him and like he's immortal to just dying to nothing. But Titan, man, just like has fucking 3 phases for like what the fuck. Sorry.
I was thinking like every time I was getting ready to fight like one of the like major big bads, I expected it to like one up the Titan fight, and it never did. So it's kind of insane that they went as hard as they did on the spectacle with Titan and then didn't replicate that like until obviously the very end when you're fighting in fucking space. But
I mean, you think Bahamut didn't?
I think Bahamut's awesome. So. I think Bahamut.
I thought it was good. Titan. I just mean in terms of like the raw.
But it didn't one up Titan, at least for most people.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just speaking in terms of pure spectacle here, and Titan was like by far and away the number one.
Yeah, I think like in terms of the spectacle, like that's going to kind of get into art, audio, UI. But I think I had some issues with that with Bahamut, which is why I also like Titan more. It's so simple. He's just a big fucking guy, and you're scaling him, and it's fucking
You're
sick.
riding the rails while you're listening to fucking J Rock or whatever was playing at that
Yeah.
point.
It's funny because that's the second time that they kind like there was a controversy in Final Fantasy XIV where a song sounded like I think like Power Man 5000, and
Like
there
Final
was
Fantasy
there was
10.
like talks of a lawsuit, but they dropped it because they realized that's the most attention they got in like 20 years. And then
Sold some tickets.
in the Titan song sounded basically the same.
That's funny. I mean, they always got to sneak new metal in ever since Final Fantasy X. There's always got to be one section where they got to get some shit like that in.
Yep, at least one.
Let's go ahead and start talking about. Let's do art first for the next section. First question I have for you guys is that there are a lot of very, very stylized moments in the game. The Bahamut fight, the final fight, the Titan fight. Did you feel like those moments artistically meshed with the rest of the game?
Yeah, I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of
Yeah, only because I really enjoy the design principle of contrast, and I think it was maximized in every aspect in this game, from the narrative to the visuals to the entire experience.
You mean
You're
by
saying
the
it
design
meshed by
principle?
contrast, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Sorry,
So
Serge, go ahead.
I just want Ben to elaborate on what he means by like the design principle of contrast.
the absolute extremes of everything from having bland characters that
Gotcha.
live in the same world as these fucking godlike beings, and like some person just be born as the most worthless fucking creature imaginable next to that guy.
I thought, yeah, it was so. First of all, the game's fucking beautiful, and I
Much more.
think that seeing a lot of the like Final Fantasy motifs that I've grown to love over the course of my life inside of that like engine was really cool, and just like overall, just holistically, they put the Final Fantasy like art style and everything that they have accumulated over the last what fucking 30 years to really good use.
Which motifs are you referring to artistically? That's obviously there for music, but in terms of art, which do you mean?
I mean, shit like so here's a good example. So throughout the entire game, I was feeling really underwhelmed by magic. Like I was like, where's all the Faragas? Where's all the Blizzagas? Like I know that shit casted them, but they felt really underwhelming. And so at some point, I started to wonder. I was like, who the fuck's gonna cast Holy, and what's it gonna look like? And motherfucker, Holy is like the sickest looking spell in that whole fucking game because it's like one of the only spells that the last boss casts. So just having that like expectation of this is a thing that's in every Final Fantasy game, this is a thing that usually looks fucking sweet, and then I get it at the very end of the game and confirm that it is fucking sweet is pretty much what I mean when I'm talking about using the Final Fantasy motif. Like expectations were met.
I also agree with Bahamut's Mega Flare. At first, I was disappointed by the Mega Flare specifically. Like, it's kind of just a fucking missile salvo. But then it goes to Terra Flare, and you're like, oh, that's fucking sick. And then it goes to Zeta Flare, and you're like, oh, that's really fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, that was cool.
Zeta Flare was fucking. That was definitely having their cake and eating it too. But it was sweet.
Did you guys ever feel like there were issues with screen clutter?
Yes, all the time. But it didn't matter because I could just mash buttons and stuff happened.
Yeah,
I didn't.
this game is the old. You know that one EA executive from way back in the day that was like, when you press a button, it
Button
awesome
awesome.
happens. Button
Yeah.
awesome. Like this game was that guy's wet dream.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially when you're playing as Ifrit. Oh my god.
I actually,
Like-
I mean, to circle back to gameplay really quick, I thought all the Ifrit sections sucked because it just removes all like player agency and like basically everything's normalized. And I thought it was like contrastingly, as how Beth says, like I don't know. it's a cool ass spectacle that's going on, but like gameplay wise, you're doing so much less than when you're Clive, and I thought that sucked.
Yeah, like
I
the best thing
thought,
you could do is an air combo, and that was it.
Yeah,
yeah, I thought they were overlong for sure.
Yeah, I think that's another example where the conflict between the game being a movie and a game is very present.
yeah. Like I thought it was gonna be cool too, where I was like, oh, is this gonna be like a rail shooter? And like it kind of was, but it wasn't like a consequential rail shooter. It was more like a movie rail shooter, like a Disney
Oh,
ride versus like Star Fox.
you saying that reminded me of something. So, do you guys remember like one of the very very first things that you do in the game where you're controlling
Yeah.
Phoenix, fighting Ifrit, and you have to like move
Yeah,
that
sick.
crosshair around?
Yeah.
How do you think that those controls work on keyboard mouse? Out of curiosity.
I mean, I know
Uh-oh.
because somebody said it.
Yeah,
But-
I was expecting to aim that shit with my mouse, but you have to go WASD, which is mind-numbingly
It-
difficult and
From
awkward.
a game developer's perspective, I understand why it happened.
I mean, I do too, but come on, you're fucking Square. This game costs hundreds of millions of dollars.
I mean, I do Japan, dude. That's why it happened.
Oh my god, that's funny. But yeah, I was actually gonna say, oddly enough, I think out of all of them, the very first Phoenix versus Ifrit fight is probably my favorite Icon fight. I think that thing was fucking sick.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was
I
really
don't
good.
know. I don't know where this belongs, but I hate that they opened with it. It made it when it actually showed up and you were doing it again, like way less cool to me.
Agreed.
I think it was important to set the scale early like that, and they kind of bring it back with the Bahamut fight.
Yeah, but I don't. It doesn't need to be like the fact that they do like the flashback and then they go back to it 3 hours later. Like it's the start of the prologue and the end of the prologue is what I don't like. Just have it be the end of the prologue.
Oh yeah. I actually felt like that little bit of time before the prologue starts should have been literally just gutted entirely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you guys have like a weird experience with the game, or like ones that people didn't have when the game first started, because the demo first came out and it was the entire prologue. So people played the entire prologue on its own, like way before the game came out. And then when the game came out, people just went straight to like after the prologue.
Oh, interesting. I mean,
Huh.
here's the way I think about like starting out with the Ifrit and Phoenix fight though, is literally someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think literally every Final Fantasy game starts in media res. Like all of them do, right? And this game was no exception to that.
Starts what?
In media res, like in the
middle of
of
something.
action, yeah.
Final Fantasy VII. Oh wait, you mean like when? You mean like
Final Fantasy VII is hyper in media
you mean
res.
when you take control of the player?
I just mean
No, when the
like,
narrative starts, when some shit's going down.
yeah, when the narrative starts in the middle of something. So like you get off the train and you are in the middle of doing something in Final Fantasy VII. You may not know what that is, but you are clearly like being propelled forward by something.
I mean, do you count
Yeah.
8 just because it's like a cutscene is what you're referring to? in
Yeah,
that context?
I do because that's what spawned the thought. So yeah, I was counting 8.
8's the closest one that doesn't do it.
I
'Cause
can't
8
remember
does
how
in the
9
cutscenes,
starts.
but then it's slow as fuck. 9, you're trying to kidnap the princess. Like you're literally about to just
Yeah.
go and kidnap. Like 9 is right the fuck in the middle of everything. 8's the only
Yeah.
one where it's like the cutscene is, but then once you get to the game, you're not doing shit.
Yeah, 8 is the cutscene, and then you wake up in a fucking bed.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still the same like idea because, I mean,
Yeah.
let's be real. That fucking that the start of Final Fantasy 16 is functionally a cutscene.
Oh yeah.
You may be
That's why I hate
pressing
it.
buttons, but it's a cutscene.
That's
The
why I hate
game
it.
is a cutscene,
Yeah, pretty much.
and I
It
love
was
it.
a 20-hour movie of cutscenes.
I mean, the combat was like so fucking fun though that
Yeah.
I forgive it.
It was so fun, even as a
agree.
cutscene. I loved how efficient the AI was at using all the moves.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with the sentiment, but I'm also ADHD brain, and there's something that really bothers me in a lot of things. But the example I'll use is when I'm trying to buy something online. I really fucking hate when I go to an online website like Redbubble or something like that, and I'm putting in my payment information, and it's like, sorry, we don't accept your card. Motherfucker, I'm trying to pay you. Take my money. Fuck off. And I feel the same way in games when I really want to play the game and it doesn't let me play the game.
I mean, that's just modern day AAA problems. The newest Monster Hunter has the most amount of like
Yeah, but
forced
it's
walking missions.
for this specific dev team. This is like the most polarizing thing. They are the anti-Seth, the 14 dev team.
Which is really funny considering I like MMOs.
Yeah, but not this one. When people said that 14 is like World of Warcraft, I can't believe anything less, honestly.
14 is just an extremely long single player game that you occasionally party up with other people for.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
you want to know what my biggest annoyance in 16, where I could tell it was influenced by 14, was? It was when you're picking up a fucking I think it does it for main quests and side quests, and it changes the like main quest thing, and it's the characters are talking, they're going back and forth, you're getting narrative, and then it picks up the quest, it puts it on the side of your screen, and then it stops for like 4 seconds while it goes, oh, it's like, whoa, that was so fucking epic. Wow, I'm so glad it stopped me from playing the game to do that.
Yeah, as I stare at Clive, like just looking off into the distance like an uncanny valley. Yeah.
I love that he had one animation for turning in quest items. That's
Yeah.
I love how utilitarian they are.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. It doesn't matter if he's handing over a bag of chips or like 18,000 pounds of metal. It's all coming out of that pocket.
That actually made me laugh so hard at the start. I'm like feeding food to these people. I'm picking it up, doing the animation to stow it, and then pulling it out. Like, did he just store that food in his ass?
It's a block of food.
I forgot what the original question was. What was the original question?
That's my fault.
I was asking if the highly stylized moments in the game meshed with the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah. TLDR, yes.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And I thought even like as they kept building on it later and later, like still going back and looking at like what they did, even with like Garuda, still looked good. So I thought it was great.
Yeah, and I think Ben's point about contrast is particularly salient. So obviously, I think we would all agree that the boss fights, especially the icon boss fights, are the heights of the game through and through. The question I want to ask you guys, if the bosses didn't have a soundtrack, would you still enjoy them? Just literally no music is playing, or it's like elevator music or some shit.
No, I think music's pretty important for a game like this.
I think I've become numb to like orchestral music that doesn't do anything sick. So I think I could have played the game muted and had the same enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the soundtrack, so I guess that's just
actually super surprises me. Yeah, I'm with Ben.
I actually like. I didn't actually. How do I phrase this? I'm gonna say I didn't appreciate the soundtrack of this game. Like there was only a couple of times where a song was playing, and I was like, "Oh, this is fucking sick!" And it was like the song when you're exploring Dalmekia outside of the village, just the fucking like Aladdin song that's playing. Like during the boss fights, I don't know if I noticed or like particularly any of them stood out other than the fucking new metal song when you're fighting Titan.
Man, that really surprises me because that like. Yeah, the harmony in the main icon boss fight song is so good.
It is true. That is a good harmony.
I think the Typhon boss fight music, I remember being let down by like when I first started hearing it, I was like, this is sick, and then it never did anything, and I was like, what happened?
Agree, yeah.
But that's like the only musical moment I could think that jumped out. What if we want to just talk about music in general, though, it fucking pissed me off that this game treated the Final Fantasy I main theme like the Final Fantasy 16 main theme. Like it played that shit 4 fucking times near the end of the game, and I was like, "What the fuck? Did you guys not make your own fucking theme? Like, why are there 4 different remixes of the Final Fantasy I theme?"
I did think that was weird too.
Are you talking about during the end of the side quests?
There's it's main quest stuff. Usually, whenever it's like something uplifting is happening and someone's giving a speech, it's going ba-na-na-na-na, like constantly. It did it 4 times. I counted because it pissed me off every time.
Yeah.
No, because they also do it in the side quests too, and
they might
parts. Yeah, no, I know I did because I know they do because I experienced it.
Like, and I like the Final Fantasy I main theme, and I'm fine if it's there like every now and then. But it literally felt like they treated that as the Final Fantasy 16 main theme, and I was like really bummed out by that.
Yeah,
the only like
I guess it didn't bother me as much. I noticed it, but I didn't really care.
Yeah, I just think I don't know. I'm just gonna restate what I said. I'm like sitting here trying to think of just holistically the entire soundtrack. And I kind of want to go back and just listen to the thing front to back.
Yeah,
Because I feel like there's good songs in there. It's just they didn't like grip me while I was actually
yeah,
playing. And
I
maybe
agree.
that's a good thing because it painted a picture of the scene. But I don't know.
Also, Sesh, you mentioned them basically ripping the Final Fantasy One theme as this game's theme. Go ahead and listen to the normal boss combat. I think it's literally like Final Fantasy 16 boss song. And that shit is literally just One Winged Angel, but shitty.
Yeah, there was a couple organ songs they were gonna do. I think specifically towards the end of the game where I was like, "Oh shit, it's gonna be like some dancing mad shit," and then like they would drop the organ for like a synth, and that would just get boring. And I was like, "Oh, whatever, not listening anymore. I don't care."
Yeah, I don't know. The Icon boss fight song and the Phoenix song are both really, really good to me.
I think I don't want to say that it's bad. I think it works really well for the game, but compared to something like Clair Obscur that has like a couple insanely good standalone songs that are like emotional standalone, coming off the back of that and playing this is just kind
Yeah.
of like they did what they needed to do to supplement the game.
Yeah,
Oh,
to be
no, I just
clear,
have the
Claire
opposite opinion, but that's just me, in my
Yeah, I
probably
mean-
biased opinion.
to be clear, I don't think that Clair Obscura Expedition 33 soundtrack and Final Fantasy 16 soundtrack should be in the same sentence ever.
In terms of Clair Obscur is way better than it?
Yes.
Or okay.
I mean,
Like not even in the same
I mean,
league.
I disagree completely, but again, I'm biased.
And
I mean,
also,
elaborate,
like,
Ben. I'm
also
interested in your opinion.
let's be real. Final Fantasy games are very well known for their music, so I feel like it's also extremely fair to compare the two games.
I want to hear Ben's opinion as to why you think it's sick.
I just
Like any
like the
standout
songs, and when I played Clair Obscur, I didn't really remember any of it except for Renoir.
What are some of like your standout favorites? Can you like link them while we're talking or anything, just so I can like kind
Oh,
of give them a fair
fuck.
shake?
I'm so high right now.
You could, it's not. You don't have to right now. You can do it later. I just like
Okay.
Tom said. I want to listen to it again without playing the game to see like are there actually good shit in here? Because a lot of it just blended into the background for me.
Yeah, same here. And I think I'm kind of with you, Jordan, where like games with full orchestral soundtracks, like I might just be over it unless you're doing like the Dark Souls
Yeah.
fucking
If you do cool shit, I'm
like
here.
Gregorian chanting shit to make it a little more interesting, add an extra dynamic to it.
I mean, even then, like a lot of the Souls game soundtracks kind of got a lot worse. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
actually
might get
true.
hate for this, but like Elden Ring soundtrack is not that good. Bloodborne soundtrack is goated, but
I don't even hear people talking about really Dark Souls 3.
3's soundtrack is really fucking good, but yeah, Elden Ring was the worst of the bunch for sure.
3 soundtrack has several good songs, but I don't know. I'm not super high on it. Bloodborne is just so much farther, like by and away better than fucking all the other games that it's hard to compare. But you're right though.
I think for me specifically, just kind of like if you're doing orchestral stuff, it needs to be like really crazy and powerful, or else it just gets drowned out in my head.
Yeah, like I don't think I'd ever be able to convince you guys to like change your mind.
I mean, I'll listen to any song that you link or anything.
Yeah, but if
like,
you're,
I'm open.
but it is like a lot of the songs are kind of samey. So I mean, like if you didn't like the majority of it, like it is what it is.
And I'm not even saying that it's bad. I actually feel like if I went back and listened to it, I'd probably like it a lot. It's just like inside of the game, nothing really like grabbed my attention and was like, damn, that's a fucking sick song.
I definitely never stopped to
See,
listen.
that's still like the opposite from where I'm at though, because I listened to a bunch of the songs I remember being sick while I was at work today, and like they were fine, but that feeling when I'm fighting Garuda and the harmony goes through when I do the face grab, like holy shit, that was awesome.
That's what I think they did fantastically well in Final Fantasy 16 more than the rest. Like I think the other Final Fantasies are a lot more listenable than this game, but this game was like scored for the game rather than like songs.
Agreed.
I think what's interesting too is they didn't do a lot of the thing that even Clair Obscur did, where they like mix and match the sound design depending on what is happening in the fight. I don't think they did a lot of that in this game, and it still worked.
It felt hyper samey. So I can't even. I feel like every song had the same instruments. I believe you if you told me everything was like the same amount of strings and drums and everything.
Well, I should say one thing. All of the Icon boss fight songs are the same. So you do have that as a true criticism. That is true.
Literally, the best song is the song when you're running around Dalmatia. That's the only song that sticks in my head because it sounds like the fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure song when like the three Egyptian guys show up. It's a meme. Yeah, the Pillar Men.
Yeah, I love that song.
I don't have a lot else for this section because I think in general the UI was just good, so I didn't have a lot to ask. Except for the camera. Combat camera sucked.
Yeah, combat camera's brutal.
Yeah, it didn't bother me any.
I feel like this is a nitpick, but I didn't like that the UI spoiled how many icons you were going to get.
Agreed. Yeah. I wrote that down.
That's why I felt bad for that's why I spoiler tagged it, even though it's fucking stupid and obvious. If we're talking about UI, you never have like fucking transitions that are longer than 0.1 seconds. Even that's like even that stretching would be like 0.01 seconds.
And you know what's fucking horrible about that is that I think I wrote down some different variation of what you just said, Ben, in like 6 different times in my notes, where like we already talked about how when you pull up the map and there's a new location, it pulls you to it, and there's like a 3-second fucking ping. It does the thing when you get the side quests or the main quest that pops up on the side of the screen. And I'm sure you guys noticed this, but when there's a cutscene in a combat and it's pulling you back to your character, there's like 2 or 3 seconds where your camera is in position and you're ready to go, and the characters are just standing there and you can't move.
Yeah, they haven't turned controls back onto the player.
I mean, they do all kinds of small shit like that. Like when you load a game and you can't move for 2 seconds, that one's fucking stupid. The fact that it pauses you on the map screen when you go even past it. If you're spamming R2, it'll be like, oh, you went to the map. Hold on, wait a second. Okay, now you can keep
that's
going.
the worst.
Yeah, like there's all that's.
I have a lot of these. I have so many of these.
It's everywhere.
You want to? Okay, I think this one might be the most egregious one to me. I hated leveling up in this game. I hated it. I don't mean
it doesn't exist.
I don't mean the mechanics of leveling up. I mean when I level up, I got mad
because the screen popped up and it took forever.
Yes, and you know more than that. It's more than that. It's not just that it takes like 4 or 5 seconds for that screen to go away. You don't get anything from leveling. It's the exact same stats every single time.
Leveling is non-existent, basically. As long as the number is big enough, you're good.
I mean, I'll go one above the level thing and say the spoil screen was trash, and all it did was fucking take 10 seconds to show you shit that it shows you anyway when the combat's less impactful. They have systems to not go to that screen, but they do it randomly just to piss me off.
Yeah, they did it for... because I love the open world combat where like you would just transition straight right back into exploration.
Yep. Just fucking it's the Final Fantasy 15 shit, right? Where you would kill it and the characters would sing the fucking fanfare and you just keep going.
Yeah.
That was great. Why does this game stop me for half of the combats? And like some of them when it gives you bad spoils, when you like kill one of the fucking stagger guys and it gives you less experience than killing 3 guys that you killed in like one shot, that feels even worse when it stops you.
It's funny because in New Game Plus you have to farm those guys for the crafting material.
Oh no,
that's so funny. To go back to that really quick, the fact that you said that they put a bunch of like design shit into New Game Plus baked in is fucking insane. That sounds like such a waste of like development time almost.
I think it's because they knew that people wouldn't tolerate that type of shit in their first playthrough of like a 90-hour game.
I mean, just put it in the post game. Like Final Fantasy X's post game is longer than the whole game by like ×4. Like that's another thing that I forgot to mention. The lack of post game in this game was such a fucking bummer. If anything, that's why it's like not a Final Fantasy to me because
I can see that. I can see that for sure because like the quote unquote, the quote unquote end game is the arcade mode and Ultimaniacs mode.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what you said.
There's like leaderboards, so that's like the quote unquote.
How do you access that?
From the Arete Stone.
I thought that was just training mode.
Yeah, but it unlocks more things throughout the game.
Oh, I had no idea.
I never touched it a single time.
I thought it was training mode. Yeah, me neither. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it has like 5. It also has like transmog as well, but like it's not that big of a deal.
So wait, is there like endgame bosses and shit in there?
It's like Ultimaniacs. Like it's all the same shit, just quote unquote harder. But remember, like what I said before, like let's say Ultimaniacs mode is 20 times harder than base difficulty, right? Well, 0 times 20 is still 0.
Okay.
I think that wasn't the point of like the arcade mode Ultimaniacs thing, like primarily just like combo based, like get a fat fucking combo and keep going kind of shit.
Yeah, but I think it like uses like your character's progression. So like that's like
Yeah.
what you grind for.
Huh. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I hated that there wasn't any fucking cool end game shit.
Yeah, not like yeah, exactly like an Omega weapon or
Yeah,
like
anything.
Ultima weapon.
When I
the-
beat the last hunt, I got the achievement. I was like, "Oh no," because I
Yeah.
I didn't look anything up intentionally because I was like, "Oh, I want to see how deep the rabbit hole goes," and it doesn't go deep at all.
Yeah.
Did you guys have anything else you wanted to mention UI wise? I don't have a lot for it.
Nope.
No, I think I covered it.
So going into the narrative, first thing I want to ask you guys is the pacing of this game. We've talked a little bit about it here and there, but in general, how did you guys feel about the pacing?
If you like 14, it's good. If you don't, it's the most painful thing imaginable.
I mean, I think the pacing is pretty good overall. I think the only time it sucks is after the prologue before you really get into Benedicta. And like that's the only time I felt like I was bored in the game because I didn't give a shit about any of the political discourse going on at all. I was just like, get me the fuck through this. So that's the only part where I was like, ugh. Everything else felt good. It always felt like I was working towards something. And I guess like the lulls right after you did the big icons were kind of shit. But yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah, I mean the Japanese are just big fans of like in their stories going from 0 to 60, back to 0, back up to 60, back to 0, and it can feel really fucking jarring. But for me, I think the only time the pacing really reared its ugly ass head was definitely fucking Mid's quest line.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there were like small moments. Like one thing that sometimes stories do that drives me a little crazy is like diminishing the stakes from like the previous major plot beat. So like you go from saving the world to saving your country to saving your city to saving your house or whatever, you know? And I almost felt like that was kind of going on after Titan into Bahamut in a weird way. Like for some reason the stakes of the Titan fight felt so fucking massive. Like what is this thing? Like this thing could blow up this fucking planet. And then I just go and fight this prince dickhead who's blowing up his own country. And it felt kind of weird to me in that sense, even though I don't think that's like strictly correct, but something about that drives me crazy, and they did that a couple of times in this game.
Yeah.
I agree, and I think kind of a core component issue I have to that is the kind of like villain of the week style structure that the game
Yeah.
had. Like I think the game could have done a lot. Like I thought like the reveal of Ultima being the kid Olivier, I thought that was pretty cool. And part of that is because like that's a character that had been around for a little bit, right? Like you kind of see what he's up to, you see what the Emperor's up to, and it kind of all comes together in that one moment. But like Benedicta and Odin, like they all just felt like disposable outside of their given time in the spotlight. And Ultima is like the worst example of that too.
Yeah, so another big problem that I think plays into that is that they did a very piss poor job of developing the characters that were not named Clive Rossfield. So, like, I think a lot of the reason why Odin doesn't really like hit for me is just because he had so little screen time, and then suddenly I'm supposed to just accept the fact that he's the baddest motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a
Oh,
letdown for sure.
I wrote something down about Odin that I need to get out. Sorry, Sash, if you're going to say something, go ahead. I need to find it.
No, I mean, I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, I think I don't mind Odin. I just fact that he was definitely like undercooked. Like, he had really cool shit going on. The mother shit where he's like was potentially fucking his mom, like his Ultima was kind of cool. But then like they never did anything with anything, and he just kind of died. Like he went from being immortal, like he got stabbed and like didn't even react to. He got slashed on the chest and then he fucking died.
So I think like a major problem with this game and its ability to develop characters, particularly the villains, is that the two best villains that they had, one died 25% of the way into the game, and then the other one died like 40% of the way into the
I
game.
mean, Benedict
Yeah.
and Titan.
And
Yeah.
like Odin, I think could have been a really cool villain. He just needed to stop fucking talking.
Oh
Like
my god.
I wrote this down in my notes. I wrote this down in my notes. The worst aura ruining dialogue of all time from
Mhm.
Odin. Bound for Stonehere? Good. My master awaits you in the capital, though I
Yeah,
cannot
so-
allow you to attend him in your present state.
So real quick. I don't. I'm so high. I don't remember what section we're on. But if you're going to be talking about that, if this is not in Thomas's notes, I'll be disappointed. But the dialogue, especially in the latter half, suffers from like Blade Runner, whatever the fuck syndrome. You know what I mean?
If you mean that it's like
Like I'll give you an example.
overly ornate, then yes, it is
No,
absolutely
maybe
overly
not.
ornate.
So here's what I mean. Like, this is the most contrived example, but let's say in a story you have a villain, and his name is Bad Guy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, I had a big problem with that in the dialogue in the latter half of this game.
The only point of what I was trying to say with that, the aura ruining dialogue from Odin, is that like it's such a sick cutscene. Like they look up and it's like, oh shit, the big bad is
Yeah,
fucking
he's just
iconed
there.
out.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, we're fucking. He needed to say nothing, literally nothing. Just raise his sword, and then that thing happens, and it would have been fucking sick.
Mhm.
Instead, he goes, "Why with this?" Like,
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, he has some quote. I've been trying to find it while we were sitting here and I can't, but he basically has a quote that just says, like, damn, I haven't had a fight this good in a long time, but he stretches it into like 3 sentences of like unnecessarily purple prose, and
Yeah,
it's
and
just
here's
so annoying.
I forgot what we're talking about. Like, but
or a narrative.
if we're talking about the worst part, the absolute worst part of the game, and I felt like it hurt my soul was the final boss fight when when the boss is talking. It is literally the worst because here's the truth. Like a week ago, I was rewatching the ending cutscenes on YouTube, and I was like, "Wow, this is so good! I can't I'm crying. I love this so much because and it didn't show the boss fight, right? It just shows like the ending." And then when I played through the game and I got to the ending and he started talking, I felt so bad because I was like, I'm telling my friends to play this game and they're gonna see this. I was like, it hurts. He's like, this fucking hurts. It's so bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
With the "this is your Final Fantasy" or whatever.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about that. That was fine in comparison to what
I
I'm
like
talking
that one.
about.
He's just
What
talking
I'm
about all the
talking,
Ultima's autistic baby shit, I'm assuming.
yeah, like oh my god, it was so bad. Do yourself a favor and never think about. Do not look it up. I'm not even kidding. Don't even look it up. If you don't remember it, it's better.
Yeah, I think it's a bummer that like Ultima turned into what he did because he was like inadvertently funny the first couple times you see him, like just from like I don't know. I think he had like good comedic timing a couple times, even at the end. I don't remember what it was, but he just says like "oh" and like I don't know. And then, like,
Yeah. When Bahamut mega flares him, like when he
Oh yeah, and it
sacrifices
gets
himself.
by, and he's
Yeah.
just like, "oh," like I don't know. He had like 3 funny moments like that are like I don't know if they meant to be funny, but like he had really good comedic timing, and then he just turns into like generic fucking like Seymour fucking shit. Even in like visuals, he basically turns into Seymour, so which I thought was awful.
I truly believe that Odin. They should have rewritten Odin, made him the last boss, and then Ultima be his like robot henchman. Because
I was hoping
having a fucking robot, like fucking dull ass dialogue robot be your main villain is so lame.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that Bahamut killed Ultima, and then there was going to be like world defense system that shows up, and that's the final boss. Like literally Final Fantasy IX Necron shit. I was hoping is what they were going to do, but then they didn't.
Can I share the quote that I was talking about? Because I just found it.
Sure.
I want you guys to listen to this and then tell me how you could condense it into 5 words or less, because it's very easy. I had thought the tantalizing kiss of self-indulgence a dream forever out of reach, and now that its sweet ruin courses through my veins, I will not be quick to relinquish it.
God. I got 3 words. This is fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if Odin was like literal mute,
and like Ultima just talked through him, he would be such a better character if he was just like
Literally,
a badass.
yeah.
Oh, that's such a good idea. I didn't even think of that. That would have been so much fucking better than what they
Literally,
did.
objectively, the things that he does are so sick and visually sick. You could just mute him the entire game and it would be better. Like cleaving the fucking ocean in half and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking dope.
I thought it was. I mean, I think there's like a big. That's like the biggest suspension of disbelief part of the game for me, where it's like they're just trying. Where are you gonna run away from them, dude? You're in the fucking bottom of the fucking ocean. Like you're not gonna. You're just gonna run in a straight line, Jill. Like you're not gonna get away. Eventually, the walls are gonna come down, dude.
Rule of cool.
I wanted to see what would happen if Clive tried to turn into Ifrit at the bottom of the ocean. I was curious.
I mean, that part was pure spectacle and pure like, hey, just kind of forget the practicality of what's happening here.
I mean, Odin's Moses, bro. It's chill. He's parting the Red Sea. But
it's more of like the character's reaction of like that they think that they're anywhere but in his domain.
I mean, I don't know. The villains in this game are troublesome. Let's just
Benedicta.
Also, imagine
outside of Benedicta and Hugo.
Imagine
they're the worst part of the game.
Wait, who's the worst part of the game?
The villains.
I think Benedicta.
Like which ones?
Right.
No, sorry. When I say villains, I mean like the actual
big ones.
The big bad.
Yeah,
Okay,
Odin and Ultima, and like I actually like what they were doing with them story wise. It's just they needed a complete and total rewrite of the script with someone, not the person who wrote it.
Yeah. Yes.
Like Ultima should have just stayed like ambivalent god style the whole time. I don't know. And then Odin should have.
He should have died silently. He should have.
Oh, that too. His death shit was so. He should have just been dead.
Dude, his fucking death scene where he grabs Clive's leg and Clive is just like, get away. You have a fucking sword, dude.
Oh, I was talking about Ultima. You're talking about Odin, or?
Seth, I think, is talking about Odin. Because, that's Odin who grabs
They're both cringe.
Yeah,
both cringe.
But specifically the one who I felt like objectively hurt the game, like in my soul, was the final, like the Ultimalius dialogue. Where if the whole dialogue was deleted and you just did the fight, and that was it, it would have been so much better.
Yeah,
I'm going to. Oh my god, I want to spoil my rating so bad because this is the reason why.
Literally, I'm just thinking about that fucking conversation that he has before he dies, and it can just be summed up by, well, I fucked up your world, bitch. Yeah. Bye.
That's not even the part that's the worst. I mean, that's bad, but I'm talking about the actual fight itself.
Oh yeah.
Every time he opens his mouth is bad.
Yeah. After about the halfway point, is when he just becomes insufferable.
Yeah.
Real shame for Harry Lloyd. Harry Lloyd? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He's great too, but you can't do shit when the words you have to read are terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I to go back to like Benedicta and Hugo specifically, like it's crazy that the Titan fight was so huge and then he's just dead. He doesn't get any post words. When if anyone should have like, now's my fucking time to monologue as I'm turning into cement, it should have been fucking Hugo, and he didn't get any of that. He just turned into cement on the ground, which is like cool symbolically, but like he got no spotlight after being the most fantastical boss in the game, which I thought was very good. He should have.
How did you guys feel?
Like a fuck you. Sorry, no, I was just saying nonsense. Go ahead.
How did you guys feel about? Because I also like Kupka. How did you feel about his characterization specifically? Right before you go and fight, like where the first fight with him takes place, like the everything up to Rosaria, like where he like fucking kidnaps Jill and he's like mustache twirling villain. How did you guys feel about that? His characterization there.
I don't think he was great up until he was, which was like
scene?
Yeah, the cutscene was good. I feel like he reached like stratospheric levels in terms of the context of the rest of the villains in the game when he got his hands cut off, because then he was just an angry bitch. But yeah, in the very beginning, he was definitely just kind of I think the word that was in my head every time he showed up on the screen was himbo.
we've kind of gotten into it a little bit, but because Thomas, you mentioned that you liked that Clive was well written. Was there anyone else that stood out to you guys as being well written, like as a whole, or anyone that stood out very, very negatively? Jill.
Yeah, Jill is the worst female in the game.
I generally just liked everybody, even Jill somewhat, although I understand why why people feel the way they do.
I mean, Jill is a fine character by herself. It's just the Jill and Clive relationship is a fucking.
I don't know. I agree that the Jill and Clive relationship is dog shit, but I also don't think that if she's fine, like every other female character is better than her. I think. I don't think there's a worse one.
So here's the problem with Jill, which is also the problem with their relationship, is that how do I phrase this? Like they try to do her characterization by showing you all of the most like emotionally impactful moments of her entire life or delivering those to you via exposition. So like it's never like you don't really get to see too much of like the quiet moments where she's just kind of like living her life and being a human. It's always like, oh yeah, by the way, I was
Yeah.
kidnapped by a cult and they
Mhm.
raped me and it sucked. And then Clive's like, oh my god, trauma bond with me, baby.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
so
like
that's my problem
Yeah,
with
for
her.
sure.
Yeah, like the issue with that too, because I started to warm up to her as a character when you go to can't remember the name of that place.
Drake's breath.
Yeah, you go to Drake's Breath, you do her whole like side quest, main quest thing, and it's like, okay, I'm kind of warming up to her. She can be a real character now. But what I'm realizing now after the fact is that they inserted that because they realized that was a problem, but then they just resolve
Yeah.
everything right then
Yeah.
and there, and she's back to not being a character.
Yeah, I can't believe they just
Yeah.
fucking killed that guy.
And the reason is like I don't like I understand like I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this now, but because of the way the game ends, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah.
I mean, if you want to talk about how the ending relates to all this, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh well, that's about it.
I
Like
mean, I agree that. I mean, I mean, I agree with you that it's better that they didn't develop Jill if they're just going to basically give the middle finger to like everybody at the end of the game, which is what I think that they did. Like I hated doing all of those side quests because after like Clive died and shit, it's like, oh, and then they show. I'm not even counting the stupid ass post cutscene credit scene, which I think is true dog shit. Just how the game ends before that is just seems like it's a big old fuck you that they didn't keep Clive alive.
I love the ending, but I understand how you
Yeah, I like
feel
the ending.
because I also didn't like the ending the first time I played the game, but then like after like years of like not having played it and like thinking about it a little bit, like when I saw it again, especially when I rewatched it only on YouTube without the boss fight, I thought it was like so fucking good.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll get into the ending, but I just want to circle around back to Seth's original question, which is what characters other than Clive are well written? And I'm gonna be totally honest, none. Uh, Clive's uncle.
Yeah,
I love
Lord Byron is
Byron.
my
Byron's
favorite.
the man.
True,
Yeah.
Uncle
Yeah.
Byron.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was literally my answer that I wrote
Yeah.
down.
yeah, he's the best like not Clive character in the game, not close, I think.
I like Sid.
Oh wait, we're forgetting Sid. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Sid.
Yeah,
Sid's,
and real
Sid's
quick,
fine, but I wouldn't call him well written.
real quick, since if you're all Lord Byron fans and no one did the side quest or skipped it,
I did them all.
the way that his fate ends is that basically the three unks start like the United States basically. So it's Lord Byron, Quentin, and the guy from the prologue that kept getting disrespected and everyone was was blowing cigar smoke in his face.
I don't
That's
even remember
fucking
that guy.
hilarious.
I thought he showed up just there. Like I feel like I missed
No,
him,
he
but
was in
yeah,
the prologue and everyone
Okay.
was just like clowning on him.
That's funny.
That's great.
Yeah, no, I thought that side quest is badass though. I like that one. But again, I think Byron's the fucking man. Sid's also
Yeah.
the man. But honestly, I think the best character might be Torgal. I fucking loved all the Torgal moments.
Yeah,
Torgal,
the
huh?
last side quest with Torgal was awesome.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh,
It was so fucking good.
yeah, it was.
I forgot to mention in the gameplay section. Why the hell did Torgal feel like more of a party member than my actual party members?
I mean,
because
Because
there
you're
is no
actually-
party.
He's kind of
Yeah.
supposed to be. Yeah,
I don't
Then why
know.
does Torgal have buttons that you can press?
because he's your homie.
He's just
Man's
a
best friend.
mechanic.
But my brain.
What do you mean? It's
I don't
man's
know.
best friend.
It's kind of weird. I guess because like I don't know what if you guys had any expectations when going to the game, but when I went in, I already knew that it was going to be a one-player, no party,
I had
just
no
Devil
idea.
May Cry game.
Oh, I knew
Then
it
why
was going to
did
be
like
too.
if that's the case, why did they add buttons for Torgal? That's what I'm not understanding.
Because he's just a game mechanic.
I
Then
mean,
why not
these-
do the same thing for your party members?
the
Because
interface doesn't support it?
I mean, like that's a lot of extra work, and they have to figure out like what to like spend
And with
the
how
budget
much
on.
they're switching around and shit, like yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like
party members come and go way too much for them to have put any
Except Torgal.
meaningful amount of effort in them.
Torgal
I
is
don't
forever.
know. I because like that's all I'm thinking when I'm seeing like Jill's big like ice drop attack is like, wow, I wish I could have controlled
Yeah.
when we did that or something. But instead,
Yeah.
I can make I can sick them. Yeah. Hell
But
yeah.
also, I have no idea how much damage any of those abilities do. They might be doing literal 0, and I wouldn't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
I knew that they were
exactly.
clearing ads. They're really good at clearing ads, and I appreciated that because I would just basically always fight the stagger bar guy while they would kill the ads.
Yeah, that's true. I did the same thing.
Yeah, just sucks.
Do you guys want to have like a extended discussion on the ending? Obviously, like I just won't have a lot to say since I only watched cutscenes.
I don't really have any like deep-seated thoughts in it. I just thought like
Yeah, same. I just
I
liked
mean,
it.
Clive is very obviously being set up as like a tragic hero, and he finishes the story as a tragic hero.
I would
Yeah.
have liked it more if they showed me something that happened after he died. Show the
Yeah,
world
I
being
would have liked
rebuilt.
that too. So here, like,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm sorry,
You
because
go.
like
No, no,
this,
you go.
this is the director's Ben cut.
Yeah, go
right?
ahead. I got one
Director
too.
Ben's cut. I would have. So the way that the side quests worked is like I told you before that they're basically like setting up the ending slides. What I would have done is taken out like 80% of that and have scenes after the ending showing the other characters doing that stuff instead. So have like Jill go to
Yeah.
go to Eastpool with Martha and Wade to rebuild it and make it a village for the bears. Show like show the Unks doing the whatever the Tri-Unity Accord. Show show like Gav going to Dalmekia where you install Lubor as a puppet mayor and because that's his fate basically. That's what happens to him. He's the
that's
first bearer
hilarious.
mayor. It's
That's
so,
so
funny to
funny.
me.
I didn't even think
I
of
love
that until
that.
you said that. That's so
Yeah,
good.
that's why I said I loved. I
That's so
honestly
good.
love doing side quests and finding out all their fates. I fucking loved
No,
it.
it is great. I agree. I think I just didn't like the middle finger of like basically that happened, and then after Clive dies, it's basically just sunset.
Yeah, I can actually see that because you put so much work
Yeah,
without realizing that it's Clive doing the rebuilding efforts
right,
before the end because he has to because he's gonna die.
right. And they
Yeah,
really don't even tell you that the
sure.
world didn't end anyway. I mean, Ultima made it seem like the world's not going to end anyway. So at least show
Yeah,
me that it's fucking
it's
not.
actually ironic like if you didn't like specifically in your first playthrough, if you didn't do the side quest, you might have had a better reaction to the ending.
I think I would have honestly, because I feel like I was way more invested, and then when it didn't give me anything at the end, I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, because
And-
that's what happened to me with Clear Obscure, where I did all that
Yeah.
fucking work and they all got
exactly.
fucked over.
Exactly.
And as
That's why I
someone
said
who
it-
was entirely uninvested, I did like the ending. So that's kind of true.
Yeah, I that's why I've been like the first thing I said was like, I think I understand what you're coming from with your Clear Obscure ending, where you like
Yeah.
the whole thing and then the end
Yeah,
just, like, sucks.
and still, even then, the reason why I'm still okay with it, I guess this is one of my questions, but like, it's whatever. Is the reason why I'm okay with it is because it feels like just a heroic sacrifice, and you can't have a heroic sacrifice without the sacrifice.
I mean, Joshua can die.
But I still like, and also here's the thing: there's actually, this isn't like fan theory, but there's like 3 pieces of evidence in the game that heavily suggest that Clive does survive, albeit as a half petrified cripple, going by the pen name of Joshua Rossfield.
Oh,
I saw
so
that.
that's what it's saying. He's the author who wrote the book.
It's likely. It's ambiguous, but like it's like I paid close attention to it, and the evidence is there that it's very possible that he does survive, but just as a cripple.
I think that's worse.
No, that's
Like-
fair.
Like to me,
I actually do prefer that he dies personally. I'd prefer that he dies.
So I think in my cut, it would be he could still die. That's fine, right? Obviously, I have a preferred of like he lives and it's like a really nice tale. But if he has to die, make Jill be pregnant and have his kid, and then show
Yeah,
that a couple years
yes.
later of like repeating the cycle of his kids doing is the next Sid or some shit.
I thought that's
when
what
it
the
cut to that
post-credit
baby.
scene
Yep,
was.
yep.
Oh, that would have
Yeah.
been good. That would have been good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I literally
'cause they
thought
even
that
have
that-
sex scene.
I literally thought that was going to be like very much on the nose Clive's kid running around because he was young, black hair, blah blah blah.
It's implied that it's
And
their
we'll name him
descendants or
Joshua.
something. It is implied that it's their descendants, but again, it's like I think it's like the Claire Obscure issue, or not issue. No, the Edith Finch issue of you just put paint on a canvas and then you didn't actually do anything with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the post-credit cutscene thing was like the most stupid shit ever, and I pretended it doesn't even exist.
Oh
So
no, I
just
liked
pissed
it
me off.
personally.
I mean, if it implied it to me, it felt like it implied that it was all a fucking. It was Mario 2.
I don't know what that means. I thought it
It was all a
implied that
dream.
no, it wasn't all a dream. Like it all actually happened
So what's the point of that ending cutscene? Like, what is that? What is
to
that supposed
show
make me
that
feel?
the world was finally truly equal. That Clive finally achieved his dream.
Yeah. Because I mean, the point was they were like showing that there was no more magic, so there's no more bearers.
Yeah, I guess I just don't care. I have the Ben problem.
I mean, that's
I care more
fair.
about the characters than I do
Yeah,
about the world.
that's 100% fair.
Yeah, I do wish that there was like a tidier way for them to have communicated the fates of all of the side characters, because it was like really jarring. The last time that I see them is at the
Yeah.
hideout, and they're all like,
Yeah,
"See you, buddy,"
Mhm.
and then he just
Yeah.
dies.
yeah. For
Also,
better or for
and-
worse. Oh, sorry.
Can someone tell me if I'm just dumb and missed something, or did they not really like establish in like a physical sense the threat of the blight in terms of like what you actually see, not what you're told about?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the Blade Runner 20 whatever syndrome, where a lot of that stuff was made. They were written kind of like for game mechanics to like introduce new types of enemies, like that in like Akashic and shit. Where like I felt like the story, like you really only needed the Blight to like be the oppressive force. You didn't need
Agreed.
like the other shit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I don't. I mean, I like the idea of what they're going for with the mother crystals and the blight, and like we're just fucking climate scientists trying to heal the world with the ending and everything. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I like the ending because I don't think the ending needed to be complex, and it wasn't, and it worked.
Yeah, I just thought it was like specifically when I watched it on YouTube, it was just I watched it, I liked it, and I cried, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want something complex. I wanted, if anything, I wanted it to be like simpler and just more like Clive's alive, but Joshua had to die, and then yeah, I don't know. That I would have been totally fine with like a super normal like hero's ending.
We're kind of already in the middle of talking about it, but like let's go into Ben's questions, and we'll just start with the question about his hypocrisy on why he's okay with the Final Fantasy 16 ending, but not the Expedition 33 endings. First,
Yeah, I
I
feel
want
like I
Sesh.
already. Oh, sorry.
I want Sesh and Thomas to first say if they think that that's hypocritical, and then Ben to explain why you think it's hypocritical.
Go ahead, Jordan.
I got to think first.
Well, I don't have to think. I mean, I really don't see why I need to challenge you on whether or not that's hypocritical, because I think the endings are very, 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 very different.
Yeah, that's how I see it too. Because like there's, even though it's technically a bad ending where literally everyone important but Jill dies, but like there are enough differences where like there aren't similar at all. So I understand like why there isn't. Like I guess I don't even know why I felt the need to write this question. Maybe because I felt like maybe I'd be called out or something. But when I thought about it more, it was like probably not going to be the case.
Yeah, no, because I mean, like the Claire Obscure ending, like the entire point of the Claire Obscure ending is to present you with a moral dilemma and ask you what you think. Whereas this is just kind of like a straightforward, the hero did it, but at what cost kind of like.
Yeah, because Clair Obscur requires a choice, which makes it like dimensionally just different for comparison.
Yeah, so I don't see it as hypocritical at all. I have to pee really bad. I'll be right back.
I don't think it's hypocritical, but I think it's because of the way the game frames everything up into it. Because me and Ben basically have opposite opinions of the ending of this game and the ending of Clair Obscur, where I love that one, he doesn't like that one, he loves this one, and I don't love this one. And so I think it's just because it's how the game frames it. Like for me, Clair Obscur was never a character story in terms of who you're playing with. I always cared about like the mystery and what was going on, so that's why I like that more. This was a character story, but it ended with like a hey, you're getting a reward of what's going on, not a reward
Yeah,
of
I
your
can see that for
character getting.
sure.
So
Because like, yeah, and that's what I was saying before, where like they did that with the side quest, but it had like the
Yeah.
opposite effect for you,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
and also because I felt the same way on on my first playthrough, I felt the same exact way, and I didn't think
Mhm.
about why until you explained it that way. I was like, that is how I felt because I did not like the ending the first time I played.
Yeah,
Because I did all that fucking work and he
exactly.
died.
No,
But this time around, because I already knew beforehand and I did the side quests again, it was like in a different context, right? Because I already knew he
yeah,
was gonna die. So for me, it was Clive like cleaning up all the loose ends to set up the next world, basically.
yeah. I mean, you're completely right. It's like a weird way of them doing it. Like instead of him coming, like surviving and coming back, and then you do that in like the post game. They basically did like the post game before the game ended, and then you basically just have to extrapolate that
Yeah,
how that ended is how it's going to continue, even
yeah,
though they don't show that to you.
yeah.
So
And
you're
I
completely
know,
right.
yeah, and I know that like none of you guys would probably want to do this, but the way that like I feel the game was intended in the way I played it was that like basically you beat the game, you start a new game plus immediately, and you did it again, you 100% again to like get all the super accessories, and then you do all the side quests again, and then you get the same feeling that I got on my
Hmm.
on this playthrough where I fucking loved it because I already knew he was gonna die, so I knew what the side quests were trying to do, at least in my what I think they wanted the side quests to do for you.
No, I agree with you 100%. The game definitely seems like it's feels like it's designed to be played twice for sure, and yeah, I think that makes total sense.
Ben, I don't know if you can answer this question given how you've played it. It sounds like on every playthrough, but do you think that like the main story and the ending still work even if you haven't done the side quests?
I on your like I said before, on your first playthrough, I think if you don't do the side quests, you will love the
I
ending.
agree. I agree. As someone who did the side
If you
quests,
do
I agree.
literally zero side quests, you maximum hold W, you will love the ending. If you do every side quest and you don't know Clive dies, it is the worst game in
Yeah,
existence.
Yeah, I guess
it's
like
really
I'm not
bad.
asking I'm asking for like put yourself in the shoes of someone that's just holding W. Like you have a gun to your head and you're being told to press W. Are you going
Yeah.
to enjoy the game?
Wait, say that again. Sorry, the last part, the very last part.
Are you going to enjoy the game in that case?
Yeah, I think that's like that's the maximum amount of enjoyment you could get on a genuinely first
Hmm.
playthrough. Is you literally say fuck the side quest and gun it straight for the ending.
That's what I did.
I agree.
Yeah, and I feel like that will guarantee you loving the ending. And if you do what Sesh did, then you will fucking hate the ending.
Yeah.
But I think I if you play it again or you watch the ending again, like 2 years from now, you're gonna love it. You will love it. Without the boss, you watch it continuously without the boss fight. They just
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ones
yeah.
that remove
Skip both
that,
of them.
just watch the ending and it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I
I
did.
like that.
I also really like that very small segment where it's just like Joshua and Clive slowly walking towards the final chamber.
Oh yeah, me
That
too.
was very
That was
nice.
good.
I hate those gameplay moments so much, so not me.
I thought it worked here.
It could have been a cutscene moment, but I mean it basically was. All I had to do was hold up on my analog. So
Game had to remind you it was a game.
Nope. Yeah, I'd rather it be a cutscene. I hate moments like that. I hate forced walking segments.
I thought it was
Uh,
fitting there, and
I mean,
that's
it's
it.
fitting, but I still don't like it. Like I can understand that you like it for sure. I'm not going to say
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
shouldn't
yeah.
like this, but I hate
Yeah,
when they
you
give
could
you control,
absolutely
but
have
the
done
control
without it. You could
is
have done
ass.
without it.
Yeah.
Well, like I guess question for me, Thomas, and Ben would be, what does having control there add to the experience?
Nothing. It could have been a
Dopamine.
cutscene.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought Thomas was in.
Oh, I don't know. Like I'm pretty indifferent. Like I don't like. I just liked it, but like I don't really care too strongly about it.
No, I'm right there with you. I'm 110% indifferent because again, it's just a cutscene. The only difference is I got to sit there and hold up for like 20 seconds.
It's a quick time event.
I mean, to me, that's exactly what I was going to say.
No, it would have
It's
been a quick time event if he stumbled and he had to hold
That would be
R2 to
so
like
funny.
steady him.
You drop Joshua
That's
and gotta
over
pick
the
him up.
line. That would be over the line.
That'd be so
He falls,
sick if
he
you drop
falls over
Joshua.
the fucking cliff, and you have to
Spam
restart the
trial.
walk.
That would be awesome.
That'd be so funny.
The screen turns to gray. Game over. Ben, dealer's choice on which question you would like to do next.
Can we rewind to just major emotional moments from the questions? If you
Yeah,
guys
sure.
have any of those, mainly because I only want to talk about. I think the coolest fucking scene in this game is when Annabelle slits her own throat. I think that fucking owns. I don't know if I'm in the minority or not.
That was a
I
good
like
character.
I like way too many moments to mention.
I forgot about Annabelle. She was a good character.
She's good.
I mainly thought that cutscene was so sick because I thought there was going to be like a whole Annabella arc now that Dion killed her son, but then she's just like, fuck that, and then just fucking kills herself in like a badass way. And I was like, damn, that fucking owns.
Yeah, I thought in a lot of ways this game, like the narrative was best when it subverted expectations in that way. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna have Annabelle and she's gonna be like a side quest person and she's gonna turn good or whatever the fuck. Nah. Or
That's what-
when you're going to like the very final dungeon and you open the big doors and then, oh shit, Ultima's right there. Oh
yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Like, shit
That
like
was a good
was
one.
cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that entire section of the game is like, I mean, that was the peak of the game, was everything going on in San Brec, like as you're fighting Bahamut and all that shit. Like, literally, like I was high as fuck when I was playing that part of the game, and it just felt like the eclipse from Berserk the entire time. It was just like, holy fuck, the world is fucking ending. Everyone is getting fucked up, and that part of the game was like S tier for me.
Yeah.
And it had like that really nice mystery of like you kind of knew what was going on with Joshua and Bahamut. Like, why the fuck is he blowing up his own city? What's going on?
Yeah.
I did kind of skip over that. Did you guys want to mention any other like major moments?
I thought the Bahamut fight was awesome, but was massively ruined by when you got control of Phoenix and then it gave you a tutorial like you're a fucking retard and didn't know how to do this in the game.
Oh, this game went down like a full letter grade for me because of the tutorials.
Like it's the Kingdom Hearts 3 shit, which is like, dude, like let me fail. You put me in an unfailable moment. I don't know if you could fail those rail shooter parts, but if I can't, just fucking let me flail around and be like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like don't fucking whoop. Like I don't know.
I thought the most egregious one was when you were fighting Typhon and you get the the fast dash thing, and he does the big circle ability, and it's like you see the circle coming, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to dash out of this, and then the tutorial pops up. I'm like, really? This is an ability that Clive has. Why are you doing this?
They literally did the show not tell, but then they're like, just in case, let's tell.
Yeah, that's a AAA thing.
I hate it.
That's why it just doesn't bother me because like I understand why it's there, so that's why like I just gotta accept it because it's like if you're making a game for the biggest audience possible, there's a reason why they do it. Is all I'm gonna say.
I just think there's better, more seamless ways to do it. Like make it so you have like a small, not like a full cutscene, but a small little scene where it zooms in on him, and then you see the circle coming, and then you press B, and then it zoops you out. That tells you exactly how to do it.
Yeah. It could have been done better. I just mean in general, just like as an industry standard, it's never gonna go away ever.
I just think I agree. It shouldn't go away either, by the way. I think that some of those tutorials are very mandatory for certain parts of the game. But for moments like that, where you're basically put in an unlosable situation, who's going to be like, you're on rails, it's an on-rail shooter, you're in the spectacle. Like, you don't need to tell the player how to play the game as Phoenix, dude. Like, you really fucking don't. Like, in Undertale, you get put in the Omega fucking Flowey fight, which is like the most crazy fucking fight ever. And basically, the way that he tutorializes that is that, like, you can't really lose. So you're just getting your dick kicked and having no idea what's going on. So like the game could do that instead. Just like have a little bit of struggle in that part. Like it's on fucking rails. They're not gonna have to fucking do a whole nother boss fight.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but it's like the feeling that you gotta. Here's the problem. And I have to do this a lot as a game dev. You have to think like a retard.
Yeah.
Like I know that you guys want this to be like high-minded art, right? Like I get that, and I do too. I really genuinely do, but I understand, like, like they gotta do it this way.
Yeah, like when I said it's AAA, that's literally what I meant. Like, imagine like the 50th percentile gamer, and imagine that half of the people that play Final Fantasy 16 are worse than that.
I like, and I again, I agree with you guys, and I think most of the tutorials should be there. I think explaining an item's fucking retarded, especially when they don't even tell you what it is. But like, whatever. I just think for when you put a player in a moment that's like unlosable and really it's not even like if you didn't know how to shoot as Phoenix or dodge as Phoenix, would you really fucking die there?
Yeah,
Probably not.
yeah. Sorry, I forgot if I forgot to like explain, but like you were talking about that one of the one. What is it from Undertale? Like where you're
Omega
getting your
Flowey.
yeah, like if you have something that you present to like the AAA audience, like they might get a bad
Yeah,
reaction from that.
I agree.
I do want to mention one thing, which is that like we're gamers, and I'm not saying that to say we're better at games than the average person. I'm saying we churned through this game in like 2 weeks. The average person playing this is going to play this over the course of like 2 months, and they won't even
Yeah.
remember the first Phoenix fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no problem with the tutorials insofar as like, would the game be better if they weren't there? Yes. Do they kind of need to be there for Square Enix's purposes? Also, yes.
Like
The only time I truly felt like a tutorial was not necessary, so much so that I had to write it down in my notes, is I believe it was the first, I think it was the first side quest where you unlock something from the blacksmith afterwards. And the entire quest is like talking to the blacksmith and finding these materials and giving them to the blacksmith. And then after you turn everything in and the quest completes and you're about to talk to the blacksmith to look at the new thing he now has because you got all these materials for him. Oh, hey, did you know that you can do quests and it will unlock recipes?
see, like I don't mind nearly as much if it's like in a town or something. It bothers the fuck out of me when I'm about to do something cool and it's fucking obvious what I have to do. It's literally the only one I'm talking about that bothers me to the nines is the Bahamut when you take control of Phoenix, because it ruins the moment. I think it completely cuts like the oh shit I'm playing as Phoenix, because you're like whoop triangle shoots, okay, R1 dot. Like if you're in a town and it's like you can find items on the ground, retard, you could fucking use them in your inventory if you go to the main menu. Like I don't care about that nearly as much because I understand that people need that.
At the bare minimum, they should have had a checkbox where it says like "Don't show these again."
Yeah, I
Like
think
bare minimum.
that could help. I think that's a lot of development time and stuff. I think if you just
No,
did
it's
better
not.
about-
It's literally zero development
The-
time.
well,
the-
it's like a process of like, okay, should this be an easy tutorial, a medium tutorial, or a hard tutorial? You know, it's medium.
Yeah, that, like the problem, yeah, like kind of what Sasha's getting at is that the problem with that is that sometimes you do want the tutorial.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
Yeah.
like
fair.
us.
So,
You
so
need to
in
split it.
what was that game I just played? Rogue Trader. I think there's like selective tutorials, or like, you know what I mean? Where like there's different types of tutorials. You could say, don't show this type
Yeah.
of tutorial ever again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the preferred method, right? Like literally, like
Yeah,
basic
and it
tutorial
is a little bit
difficulty.
extra work, but it's pretty reasonable work to expect.
I
agree.
guess like my kind of view on tutorials like this is like yeah, what Thomas is saying is true, what Ben is saying is true, and it needs to appeal to the average person or whatever. Like to me, it's a product. You're creating a product for people to consume, and I am consuming that product, and what you've put in the game is actively stopping me from consuming the product. If I bought like a piece of furniture at IKEA, then I could like try to put it together. I can ram my two brain cells together and I might be able to make a functional coffee table or whatever. But it has the instructions in there and I can look at them if I want. But this game decides, no, you cannot open the plastic packaging to your IKEA furniture until you read all of the instructions. I'm like, fuck off.
And I get it, and I understand. I think it's lazy to just do it generically, like Seth said. And I think what Ben said, if you have like selective ones, or if you did like literally the game, just like, are you a beginner to video games? Are you intermediate? Or are you fucking badass? And then they cater the tutorials to that. But I think that takes like a pretty decently good designer.
Yeah,
And
someone that like can figure out like all the different
yeah,
categories, how important this
I
is.
think it's tough to do that. And like Seth said, like I don't want to skip every tutorial. There's some things that I do want to know how to do in a game. This game not so much, because a lot of the shit's simple, but like Clear Obscure and stuff kind of has stuff that like you aren't gonna intuit and not even know that it's there. Like I think they probably failed the tutorials that I didn't even know that. I still what the fuck is it called? The fucking stone thing was more than training mode. Like I think either I'm a retard or they didn't show it to me or what the fuck. But there's like a whole thing that I missed out on.
Yeah, but was Clair Obscur really like from the start doing like a AAA thing? Like
It's like weird AA. It has tutorials in there, but they're definitely way less intrusive and like way more like there if you want and fuck off if you don't than this game.
yeah, I understand that. Like I agree. What I'm saying is like I feel like they can get away with that because of that like differential in the A's.
Oh, because they're not AAA, they don't have the expectation to make it
Yeah,
for the mouse.
to make it for
Yeah,
retards.
no,
Yeah,
it's
I
true.
mean-
They literally designed that game for people who they thought would like it, not for mass
Yeah,
audience.
yeah. Clair Obscur was made by a gamer for a fucking
Yeah.
gamer audience. Final Fantasy 16 is made by people who want to maximize the amount of profit that they are going to generate from their game. I mean, every game dev
Yeah.
project is that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Square Enix, like in particular.
I think to your guys' point, it's focus groups, and they decided that more people hated them not being there than people hated them being there, so they just include them there. And it's a waste of development time to have tutorials be a difficulty slider.
Yeah, I think 99%. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Right there.
It just bugs me when it interrupts action. That's what I hate. I hate when it I was about to fucking take control of Phoenix in a badass moment that I thought was fucking awesome, and I got a screen comes up that just interrupted it.
Or like even more generally, when it just disrupts like the artistic flow of what they were going for. Like imagine a super tough game like Dark Souls did that. Like even if it wasn't intrusive to the gameplay, it would just be getting in the way of what the vision of the game was. And the vision of this game was a fucking sick ass high scale badass Gundam show. Anyway, back to the questions. Ben,
sorry.
Oh, real quick.
What's next?
I just want to say something about question number 2. I don't really want to ask it, and the reason why is because the way I've written it makes it sound like I actually care that much, but I don't, if that makes sense. And just the way that I feel about it is that like for some reason deep like within my heart, I'm just glad the game is called Final Fantasy 16 and not something else.
I will
Yeah,
say,
and real
Go ahead,
quick, I feel like I like very intentionally like brought all of that up in the Discord channel to avoid talking about it here because I felt like it could just be a big
Yeah,
big,
exactly.
long
That
fucking
exactly.
diatribe.
Yeah. So I have the same feeling as you. I just got to the conclusion later.
I mean, I think it's fine either way. I can just say I like it's called Final Fantasy because I think that what they did with like the summon design and like just seeing kind of like the parts that are Final Fantasy like definitively, seeing them and like the high fidelity and like what they do with it is always awesome. So that's why I like it.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I will say on the flip side of that, I don't like that they didn't include a lot of enemies like Tomberries and Cactars, and they include stupid shit like Evil Eyes. I think the Morgul
Yeah.
is fucking awesome.
There was
But
a
some of
little
these-
too much focus on the enemies that were in 14. A little
yeah,
too much.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, am I mad that they called this game Final Fantasy? No. But when someone says, hey, do you play Final Fantasy games?
You're not
six-
thinking of this.
Is 16 going to be in like the top 5 games that I think of? No.
What's crazy in me looking around this game after I beat it was like so many people's introduction to Final Fantasy is this game, which is fucking nuts to me. And I want to see what their opinion of the older games would
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh,
I think,
I want to. Oh, sorry, you just unlocked
go
a
ahead.
very important memory. So a couple years ago, when I worked at Butler, I did that summer camp, right? At where I taught I taught Unreal Engine to some kids, and there was this one kid who like he was talking to me about Fallout, and I told him that the best game in the series was Fallout 1, right? So, and I truly believe that in my heart.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, no, Fallout 4 is the best one. And if I If I could spend the rest of my life trying to convince him that Fallout 1 is better, it's never gonna happen. Never, not in the infinite.
Oh,
It doesn't.
dude.
If I was immortal, it would never happen. You know what I mean? So that it's just something you have to accept being an unk.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god, we're boomer gamers.
I just think it's hilarious seeing Ben like coming back the next day with like a bunch of cutscenes of like why Fallout 1's better than Fallout 4 and trying to explain that to some kid who's like, what the
PowerPoints.
fuck? Yeah. Because there's such different games, but yeah.
Well, in that case, Ben, you can go ahead and do your last question. We can either spend the rest of our time on it, or if you think of another question, we can do that. Kind of just wherever we go.
We could just do the last question. I'm honestly like pretty fucking high, so it's like hard for me to keep track. I'm kind of just vibing off of you guys.
Hell yeah.
So your last question was the one about the thoughts on the proportions of the influences. So Game of Thrones, Godzilla / Gundam, Devil May Cry, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, and I feel like at least that last part, the good, bad, and ugly, was kind of like the whole fucking thing. So I guess I don't know. It feels kind of a letdown to go into this subject after everything.
I mean, for me though, I will say when I started playing this game, my first like 4 notes were all about what the fuck, this game is just plagiarizing Game of Thrones. Like one of my notes says during the prologue, Clive is literally Jon Snow. His dad is living on borrowed time for sure. And then an hour later, his dad was dead. And so, like, I eventually just kind of came to accept the fact that all art is theft and just accepted that, you know, the game was going to lift a lot from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And Game of Thrones specifically, I think. I didn't really see like a shit ton of like other stuff outside
No, it
of
was just Game of Thrones.
yeah, there's like some weird tangential stuff. Like I could tell that there was definitely influence from Evangelion too, but like by and large, it was fucking Game of Thrones. But it begins to like meaningfully separate itself enough after the prologue that I was like, okay, thank God. Like this is not just gonna be Game of Thrones, like literally Game of Thrones the book, the first book.
I mean, I will say with regards to like the mix and proportion of all those different inspirations, all the Godzilla stuff, fucking sick. All the Gundam stuff, fucking sick. Devil May Cry, fucking sick. I wish none of the Game of Thrones stuff existed.
Yeah, I guess another
yeah.
way to call Game of Thrones is Final Fantasy 14. You could just replace the words.
I mean, in my opinion, like the Game of Thrones influence, I think actually like helped it because like it was very obvious that a lot of the way that like the pieces moved on the chessboard as far as like all of the political intrigue side of shit was very much Game of Thrones. I mean, let's be honest, the most Game of Thrones shit I have ever seen outside of Game of Thrones was the throne room scene between Annabelle and Dion. I was like, Jesus Christ, this was literally just like Cersei and Jaime talking or something.
Yeah, true.
But I think it all worked. Like outside of the beginning, which I was very like surprised at the brazen level of plagiarism. But after that, I was like, okay, now they're just taking like some broad strokes beats and it works.
I guess like let me put it this way. It was very much like Star Wars Phantom Menace to me, where like, you know, in the original trilogy, you had these awesome fucking mech battles, and I know there's like the whole hero journey stuff going on, but let's be real, everyone watches it for the fucking AT-ATs, AT-STs, and the Death Star, and the X-Wings and shit. Like, all of it's fucking awesome, and the scale is unlike anything we ever saw. And then you get to the prequels, and they're talking about tax law, and that is, or like trade routes, and that's how I felt going from like the Titan fight into gathering sand in a desert.
Talking to
Yeah,
Vivian.
so that's the contrast. I don't know if you enjoyed the contrast. It sounds like you didn't, and it could be off-putting.
Yeah, I did like the contrast. Like I did not hate every time I had to go up to Vivian and press X.
I did.
Yeah, fuck. What was I? Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
I only disliked the tell don't show aspect of it. Otherwise, it was
Yeah, I actually wrote that down. Too much tell don't show. Let me read this off. Too much tell don't show during first time skip should have shown brief cinematics of Jill fighting as Shiva since she was the primary military force of the Curse Breakers while Clive couldn't prime at will. Charger removing Clive's brand, how important the brand removal was to Clive's taking on Sid's identity, and how half the people go through brand removal die. That should have been like in the time skip. It was in a side quest instead.
Yep.
Like really fucking important
Yep.
information. The formation of the Curse Breakers play on the phrase the Crystal's Curse and breaking it, and also the requirement of having your brand removed to be a Curse Breaker, meaning half the
Yep.
fuckers die. And they had to do it because if they didn't remove their brands, they couldn't go out in public, or they would just they'd get fucked up because they're bearers. And they should have shown like Vivian and Mid at some point, like in like some cutscene. They should have had cutscenes for the time skip, like instead of just saying, "Oh, 5 years passed and Jill and Clive are close now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with like all your points. Like some of the stuff they put in side quests would be so much better if it was
Yeah,
like, in the
and
main game,
sorry,
for sure.
I have there's an addendum that I also wrote. It's in brackets. It says defense drone activation. The dev team is too used to working with shoestring budgets, but these specifically and the things I just said, these changes specifically, I think would have been worth like splurging on, just like a little bit, like budget. Just
I agree.
just fucking
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, well, I think wherever they need to siphon funds away from to get what you described with like literally just have the Vivian narration, but with like Shiva cutscenes and shit like that. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Jill was super important in the 5 years, and like it's just mentioned like one time in her dialogue.
Mhm.
Like that's very important that she was the main fighter, not Clive, for 5 fucking years.
Yeah.
And also like it's definitely true right after the time skip and like during the time skip. But also like I get to the fifth Vivian narration and like I like them, but also like at the fourth and fifth one, all the words are kind of just glazing past me at that point.
That was the first one for me. Once I was like, oh, fuck off.
I liked them honestly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
like them too. I think that they provide like a certain level of like important context for like zooming out because Clive zooms in, but Vivian helps you zoom out.
Yeah. I'm glad that they're there for people who like world building shit like that, but for me I cared more about the characters, and whenever that shit came up I was like, nah. But yeah, I'm not saying
Yeah,
remove
that
them.
makes
I'm just
sense.
saying every time they came on I was like, nope.
They are like extremely dry, so
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it for sure.
I definitely agree with Ben's point though. Like, if Jill is so integral, like they should have fucking stepped out of their stupid ass. You only play as Clive design space and make you play as Jill
That would
for
have
like
been
a
cool.
2 hour
Yeah,
segment.
for like even just like for one cut, like like how you play Joshua at the beginning, just like really
Yeah.
limited like that, just like one time, like literally one time.
I think it'd be sick as fuck if you played as like Shiva and like you were fucking I don't know fighting Titan or some shit.
The only reason why I say limited like Joshua is that like um I just don't think it's realistic to expect them to like make another main character like with that much detail in the gameplay. You know what I mean?
I think
Yeah.
I mean you don't need to have like just moments where you play as Jill. She doesn't need her own like skill tree or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, and it's just like Joshua where he could do
Yeah.
his attack, he could cast Kiraga, Faraga, or whatever. Like
You
just
could
like that.
literally just make it Clive's moveset, but you have Shiva's abilities. Like it's already
Yeah.
in game. So
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
I think it would have helped Jill a shitload.
Yeah, for sure. Like
And it would've
something. I personally would prefer what I said over what you guys said, but like something should have
Something.
been done.
Yeah, I agree.
and would have helped
That's a
us
good point.
actually like Jill, especially. Wait, does Jill's side quest stuff happen like right after the time skip? Am I getting that right?
No, it's all that stuff that I just said is stuff that's when it's literally it's a nitpick that I wrote called too much tell don't show. This is stuff that is told. That's
yeah,
it.
like in like the Vivian stuff, that's not even like shown to you. The Jill has like
Yeah.
side quest stuff like at the end of the game and stuff, but nothing for basically what Ben just said.
Sorry, by her side quest, I meant when you go to Dragon's Breath.
Oh yeah, basically her main quest.
Yeah, it's like her
Yeah.
peak basically. Well, other than like the Odin thing, I guess is kind of peakish, but that's it.
God, you mentioned Odin again. I was like, man, I really wish they
Not
explored
Odin
the-
himself. I meant like Jill's
Jill's
involvement.
Odin. Yeah, no, I was just thinking. I wish they explored Odin fucking Ultima more because I thought that was like the coolest part of the game.
Where they show that he's
Yeah,
just having sex
unfortunately,
with
he's
God.
ass. He's ass. Man. Like,
Mm.
Yeah, and
just
like
got
that's why I have so much issue with that like villain of the week style narration, because like you have to have good villains at the start of the game to pull them in, but then you're saving the big bad villains for the very end of the game and you get no time with them.
oh god,
I'm just talking
so
specifically
much.
how. Oh wait, Ben, I think your mic fucked up. Would you want to repeat whatever
Oh
you
really?
just
Oh, I'm sorry. I just said I hate Ultima so much.
said? I just think
Yeah.
specifically the fact that Odin was fucking Ultima is like a cool concept, and then it's just like what it's a whatever moment.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think this game just had a real character development problem, and
Yeah.
that tends to show its ugly head the worst when you have to like watch the villains be cool, but you're just like, I don't give a fuck about this guy.
Yeah. Oh
I don't
my
give a fuck
god.
if he's trying to be cool.
By the way, Odin was not cool.
Not even a little bit. He was cooler than fucking Ultima.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Odin was
Odin
cool
was
with dialogue
cool.
removed.
Barnabas was shit.
Odin
Yeah.
was very cool.
I could not get over their fucking Swedish accents. I'm sorry. That shit was so fucking corny.
Did you guys notice? Like when he's in the suit of armor and he has the kind of voice reverb thing going on, he completely loses the accent.
I
That was
did,
funny.
yeah.
Oh my
It
god!
was so
Oh,
fucking
and then when
weird.
he's screaming at the end, it's like a different person, basically.
Yeah. It was gross. Ugh.
Yeah,
Going forward, I'd really prefer if we don't talk about Ultima. I'm just gonna put that out there. I just don't want to think about it.
I mean, to talk about Odin real quick, I thought it was super fucking cool that his little lackey was called Sleipnir, which is Odin's horse. I thought that was fucking awesome.
I literally liked Sleipnir more than Odin.
I did
Oh
too.
yeah, he was way cooler.
Way cooler. All right, let's get back on rails here. Where the fuck were we?
I forgot. I'm so sorry, guys. I
Uh,
feel like I
the-
led all astray.
The influence.
Mixture and proportion of influences.
I don't
You
think it
guys
was
move
bad.
into awards.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Jordan
Yeah.
posted a bunch, right?
Yeah.
Do we have some somewhere?
I mean, I could start with best dialogue line, and I don't even think it's close for me.
Wait, actual best or fake best?
Mine is actual best, but you can do whatever you want. For me, actual best is when Sid said to Clive, "Find out if this man is the one responsible, and kill yourself if not." thought
I
that was
do
fucking-
love that line.
Such a sick fucking line.
That was good.
It's because it's such like a fucking like realistic line that it's like what he should do, right? Whenever like people say gay shit in these games, you're like, that's not what they would say. Like, no, that's what someone would say, and I thought it was awesome.
Honestly, I didn't think about this, so I can't really think of one. I know that's like kind of embarrassing, but like I just think about like the one you sent. It's like, oh wait, no, I do remember, and I remembered it because Thomas posted that one screenshot way back when, of like kicking the grate. The dialogue in that part I actually loved a lot, where you have to do the
Kicking-
quick time, where you have to do the quick time event 3 times the R2.
Which part of the game is it?
I don't
in?
remember that.
It's like right before Sid dies, basically. There's like you're like infiltrating into the Mother Crystal, and there's a grate, and Clive and Sid have to kick it. 3
Oh,
times.
right.
Yeah, and they have dialogue in between each kick, and it cracked me
Oh
up.
yeah. A lot of the best dialogue stuff, I didn't write it down, but a lot of the best dialogue is like in the hunts when like Clive just says like quips. Like I fucking love
Oh
those.
yeah, and you wouldn't even understand unless you read the hunt description.
Yeah, true. Like I think they did really well with all those kind of like little small lines that weren't meant to be like fucking Barnabas's epitaph.
What about you, Thomas?
I already read my favorite quote from the game earlier.
Wait, the Barnabas one?
Ironically, yes. I don't know, honestly. I didn't think about it too much because I wasn't overly impressed with the writing of the script, especially. So nothing
Yeah,
nothing
that's
really like
fair.
stuck with me.
Yeah,
Did you like Mine's Bigger?
Okay, that one was good.
The Blade Runner. I don't even know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but the reason why I bring it up is Tom is you're the one that like invented the term, and I stole it
Yeah.
and used it ever since.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
But like that's
Mine
what
was,
the biggest. Oh, sorry.
Mine was if I'm giving an actual answer, because I agree with Thomas that the script wasn't all that great. However, the only time that I wrote that someone's performance was goated was Ben Starr at the end of the prologue. That Like nothing
I'll
specifically about
fucking
what he
kill
says,
you.
but that performance is incredible.
Yeah, I'll fucking kill you is nice.
Yeah, when he's just like going nuts,
Yeah.
really as he's killing Joshua. But
Yeah, I think his performance was good, and it grew on me more as time went on, specifically for what he was doing. But I think playing this game after seeing his Verzo performance made me think less of Clive for at least the first half of the game. And also, I think young Clive was just shit.
I don't know.
That aspect may be true, but I think it reinforces what I wrote in my notes, which is Ben Starr is goated because holy
he's
shit,
great.
his range.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, so for me with voice acting, I'm very binary. It's either good enough or Chaos Wars. And if you don't know what Chaos Wars is, fucking YouTube it. Like it is really that binary for me. Is it good enough? Then it's godlike. If it's not, then it's Chaos Wars. That's just how I feel about like all voice acting. And this
That's
game
fair.
was good enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you have any other ones, Sesh, for awards?
What else did I have? I wrote best and worst side quest, but I couldn't really land on a best because like it's basically just like all the end game ones are like
It's
there's a
pretty much
shitload of S tier ones.
Yeah, exactly. All the endgame ones are fucking
Yeah,
goated.
They're
And all
really
the ones
good.
all the ones that you have to do to unlock them are well, it's an acquired taste.
Yeah. So I wrote the award, but then I couldn't come up with like a clear cut answer because yeah, it's basically what Ben said. It's like all the end game ones are good, and then all the like the intermezzo ones are shit. So,
I didn't do enough of them to actually see the ones that weren't me delivering hot bowls of
they're all
curry.
Yeah,
to random
exactly.
people.
They're all that in essence. It's more of the context that they give you.
Well, the answer
Yeah.
for my worst one is letting off Steam 3 or whatever it's called.
Yeah, of course.
That's the one where I was like, yeah, I don't know about this.
That's not even a side quest though, right? That's the main quest.
That's the main quest.
Oh,
Yeah,
true,
That's
true,
main quest.
Even
Yeah,
worse.
and the reason why is it's actually important for Mid's like ending slides where she basically takes the schematics and makes
Yeah.
it like a treasure hunt for the future.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Next one I did was worst NPC voice actor, and I couldn't land on one specifically, but basically
Terry
like,
Lloyd.
everything- What's that?
I actually thought he did a great job. It's
He
just
did a
what the-
great
what-
job until
Yeah.
What's he
Can I
supposed
spoil
to
my
do?
rating? Can I just fucking spoil my rating?
No, because I'm excited to hear it. in the
All right,
moment.
all right, all
Hold it
right.
in.
All right.
I just think Harry Lloyd did a good job, but there's a ceiling on how good you can like perform
writer.
a script.
It's the
Yeah.
writer, yeah.
It's literally just the final boss fight. That's it.
Yeah.
It ruined the fucking game.
That's awesome. There's a lot of shitty voice actors in this game for like the throwaway characters, like the
Yeah.
kind of shit. Like they are flat and awful, like surprisingly
no.
so.
To
Yeah,
me, they're
there's-
good
there's-
enough.
Like
I'm just trying to
for me,
think
it's
of, like-
Chaos Wars shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do mine real quick because I'm sure you guys won't agree. And to be clear, this is not Mid's fault. It's not her fault. However, when she entered into the game, I was at a low point in my view of the game. I was very tired of all of the British accents, and so literally all I'm hearing is "Oh, governor!" Fucking.
Yeah, it's funny because she's one of my favorite characters.
I like Mid a lot. That's why when you compared Mid
It's
to
not her
Chadley, I
fault.
was like, Jesus Christ. Because I think Chadley is the worst JRPG character ever made in function and in character.
Wait, sorry, I was high and I zoned out. Did you say Chadley?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
When you compare Mid to
Yeah, obviously after I thought about it, obviously that's an unfair comparison. She
Yeah.
is infinitely better than Chadley.
He's the
Oh,
worst.
Chadley made me uninstall a fucking game.
He's the worst JRPG character ever made. There's not even one of. He's just the worst. And I think he's kind of meant to be the worst, which makes it even fucking worse. But anyway, yeah. I liked Mid.
My worst is fucking Jill. So flat,
True.
so
Yeah.
uninterested, so just like 1990s anime who still
Yeah.
maintained a career into the 2020s somehow. Like just not good.
Yeah, she was good enough.
I just hate it because like I think I liked Benedicta so much fucking more than Jill. It's insane, and I really wanted Benedicta to become like a good guy.
Same.
And it never
Yeah, that would
happened.
have been nice.
And then
But,
Jill never
yeah.
picked up the fucking pieces of me really wanting to have Benedicta as a homie. So I think that's why I extra hate Jill.
To be
Yeah, and I
fair, I feel
mean-
like that's an unrealistic expectation, but it would have been cool if they could
To pull
somehow
her over? I
rewrite
mean-
this, to rewrite the entire, like they'd have to rewrite the whole fucking story.
Yeah, the whole thing
Like, dude,
changes,
that's
bro.
like I don't know. When I try to think of like constructive criticism, like I try not to do like just make the game exactly how I want and it would be amazing. Like, yeah, obviously, no shit. I try to think of like things that are like realistic to implement.
I mean, I could give you like a quick one though. Like literally, Benedicta just portrays Hugo, and then in Hugo, instead of being pissed at trying to kill Sid, he's just trying to get back and kill Benedicta. It's the same thing. Nothing really changes except that you'll show up and kill him instead of Benedicta. But you could still work Benedicta, and so she's the one who like
Oh yeah,
gives
and
him
like
the
she
finishing
like
blow. Like
yeah,
nothing
I'm
really
just trying to
changes.
I'm trying to think about how you collect her icon, right? Like I'm
Oh, she can
Yeah,
still lose her
I
icon.
see.
That's fine. I'm cool. Like she could just be the character. Like because I mean, she doesn't. It's not like you die when you lose your icon. You know, it's basically
Well,
like Jill after she lost Shiva. Just be like that.
We're getting off on a tangent here. But
Sorry.
moral of the story: Jill sucks. Her character sucks. Her character is so emotionally flat and boring that there was no hope for anyone to perform her because they once again fucked up the script.
yeah. Oh no, I
I
thought she
I
was good enough.
still think back to that moment where she goes back to one of the towns of her childhood home. Everything is dreary and sad. You open the gates, and oh my god, people are strung up. They're dead. Crows are eating them. How sad. Clive starts freaking out. And her only dialogue in the entire cutscene is Clive. And yes. That's all she says.
That was a pretty
God.
badass scene. But yeah, she definitely sucked at that scene. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, the reason they did it is to highlight Clive in the scene
course.
because whatever, but like fucking Jill grew up here too,
Yeah.
guys. What the hell?
I mean, I think that's the problem with Jill is that they were focused too much on Clive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was the problem for every other character in the game, in my opinion.
I literally think Jill should have just been like a Cortana. Literally just been like the
That'd be
Shiva
sick.
inside Clive's head.
So here's what they really should have done, like, and to stay within like what they were going for. They could have replaced 3 or 4 of the side quests with just Jill side quests.
Yeah.
Like that,
For
it
sure.
would have just fit in the game. It would have slotted right in. Like, just replace the quests. Just
Yeah.
get rid of 4 quests and
Yeah.
put 4 in.
So like here's the thing, right? Is like all of the side quests were you performing boring, menial bullshit tasks, which is fine. But why not include
with
some
Jill.
of those? Yeah, do those with Jill. Because the problem, which I didn't go into super heavily, but the problem with Clive and Jill's relationship is that you never see those boring, tender moments, which
Yeah.
99% of a relationship is just like some stupid ass inside joke from the time that she like missed her face with her fork while she was eating. Like I don't get any of that. I just get like fucking like the major like fucking Hallmark movie
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah, the bare minimum to like explain her character. Basically,
Mhm.
that's what you got.
Agreed. Especially because like they kind of showed romantic interest like early on that like there's
Yeah.
going to be something here, and then they just never did anything other than like the metaphorical
Yeah.
sex scene they had.
I mean, I still think it's fun because of the way the game ends, but I get like why people are majorly disappointed by a Final Fantasy not having a strong romance element.
I think the
Alright.
fucked up part is they kind of did. They just didn't do it well.
Yeah, they definitely did have a big
There's a sex
romance
scene.
component. They just didn't do the relationship well.
Yeah.
I mean,
So when I say
browsing-
big, I mean like when I say big, I mean I imply
it's-
doing it well.
okay,
Sure.
yeah, and also like the romance in this game isn't like heliocentric the way that it is in like 10 or 8 either, which is a big difference.
I don't know. I feel like that kind of goes back to the romance component being an important part of all the big Final Fantasies. Like, I guess you don't need to count 7 if you don't want to, but it's pretty important, I think. Same with 9.
7 has like an implied sex scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cloud dresses as a girl. It's hot. Like, anyway.
I mean, like I said,
Yeah,
like,
so
eight,
for better.
eight-
Oh, sorry.
Good. No, go ahead.
Yeah, for better or for worse, there was a very overly heavy Blade Runner 20, whatever the fuck, every emphasis on familial relations. And like they had to. I mean, like the main focus at the end, especially, was brothers more than anything. But like like every single character in the game had a relation to Clive or to another character, whether it be through genetics or legacy. Like here's the
Mhm.
thing, like the very end of the game, if you do every single side quest, you unlock one last side quest with Dion and Harpocrates. And the gist of it is that Harpocrates was Dion's tutor before he joined the Dragoons. And you talk to Dion, and he randomly, I forget why, he just randomly brings up that him and Clive are stepbrothers, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then I thought about it for like 5 more seconds, like, "Wait, he's right."
Yeah.
Like literally everyone is related to each other somehow, including
Also,
Ultima.
yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that's fucking true. That's funny.
Ultima is everyone's daddy.
Also, so to touch on like the brotherly aspect of the like themes of that game, I felt like that's just another example where it was like totally undercooked because you get some Clive and Joshua in the prologue, and then Joshua quote unquote dies, and then you go like another 30 hours of in-game time before Joshua and Clive even like interact again.
Yeah.
So like all of this stuff with like Clive losing his shit and Joshua dying, and I was like, damn, like Joshua is a blonde twink, just like my brother. I feel like I should be more emotional seeing this, but I just don't give a fuck because they've interacted so little, like
So, oh,
meaningfully throughout
okay.
the game.
I'm not a twink.
Go, going back to what I was saying before. So remember how I said that like if you rush through the game, you will think the ending is better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think that if you do all the side quests, I think your relation, like the way you feel about like Joshua and Jill and all that, maybe not Jill, but like Joshua and the other ones is a little better.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And like I said, that just goes back to being on a time crunch to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's Ben, let loose. What did you rate the game?
In my heart and in my memory, it's a 10 out of 10. I fucking loved it. But this third playthrough, it is an 8 out of 10. I subtracted 2 points for the final boss fight, and I really truly mean that. That's how much damage it did.
Shit.
That's funny.
Just the
Yeah, that's
dialogue of
it.
the final boss?
Yes. Yes. Minus 2 points.
That's great. I mean, I get it. It is
It's
very,
so
very weak.
fucking bad.
Thomas?
I'm in like somewhere in the 7.5 to 8 range. I think, in my opinion, it probably has one of the top three if it was your top one like story in Final Fantasy games. I don't think you would be to blame for that. The story of this game is fucking incredible. The combat is very fun and enjoyable and just gets better as the game goes. But I feel like there's so much potential wasted. Like one thing that I never touched on when we were talking about gameplay is how much I fucking hated the lack of incentive to run around this gorgeous world that they built
Yeah.
because you don't get rewarded for it. And that drove me fucking Looney Tunes. It's like I want to run around and explore this beautiful place you've created, but you don't give me a reason to.
Yeah, that's it's the 14 the 14
Yeah, for sure.
way.
So between that kind of driving me crazy, and the lack of what I felt like were really any strong characters outside of Clive, it's pretty hard to give it anything higher than like 7.5, 7.75 sort of rating.
Yeah, like
And
that
Sesh?
AAA kind of 7. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty close to Ben. I think after all the Bahamut stuff resolved, just before Odin and Barnabas pulled themselves in, I think that was the peak of the game, and it was like almost a 10 for me. It was like 9.5, really close to 10. But then basically once Barnabas pulled himself in, and then all the way until like the ending, it just dropped basically 2 points from there. So like even more than that, maybe. So I think I'm at like a 7. But I think so what Ben said could be true, where if I revisit the game in a couple years knowing what it is and not trying to figure it out as well as like piece everything together and experience it, it might be a little better. But yeah, the ending just did me so dirty that it like just dropped it down tremendously.
Yeah, because that's exactly what I did. My first playthrough, I felt the same way. I
Yeah.
fucking hated the ending. I hated it a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like if I had actually done all the side quests and like filled in some of those gaps with the characters, it probably would have given me another like plus one on the rating.
I think it was like a minus for me. If I didn't do all the
Really?
side quests, I think it'd be at like a 9. Yeah, I think what Ben said earlier was like perfect. I think the less side quests you do at the end of the game, the less like you're tied to like what's going on with everything. And then so when it finishes, you're like, oh, that was nice. But if you spend an extra 14 hours doing all the bullshit and then it just abruptly ends and Clive's dead, you're
14?
like, fuck this fucking game. Well, I'm just saying that because
I think you mean like plus 50 hours.
I mean, I did every side quest and every hunt, and my playtime was
Yeah,
50
me too.
hours.
Okay, that's damn, that
Yeah.
fucking okay. So my first playthrough was 90 hours. That fucking one setting, the teleport back
was-
to quest
yeah.
server, that must have made a huge
I
difference.
think it did, dude. I was blazing through shit. Like the side quests took me like
Basically
a minute and a
halves
half
the
each.
time, yeah.
It
Wait,
was
what is
so
my
lazy.
time? I didn't even look.
You can't really. Oh, you can.
Oh,
tell
I'm at
because-
64, so I shed
Yeah,
almost 30 hours.
yeah.
That's crazy. All right, so
Well,
what's your rating?
As for me, my opinion and rating on this game oscillated wildly over the last 2 weeks. I think the highest I ever was about a 7.5, and the lowest I ever was a 3. Going into this, I felt fairly confident that I was going to land somewhere around a 4. And also keep in mind, again, my rating is not like,
Yeah, we
the
get
most
it, we
accurate
get
thing because I didn't get to play the back half of the game. But I think talking it through with you guys, and especially, man. So I uninstalled the game yesterday because I needed to make room on my
It's
very
big.
tiny hard drive. It took up my entire hard drive space, so I uninstalled it. And on the way back home from work today, just kept thinking, man, I kind of want to play Final Fantasy 16. I kind of regret uninstalling it. And I just kept thinking of like the actual highs of this game, the Titan fight, the Bahamut fight, even Garuda, like all that shit was so fucking sick that, I wish I had kind of stuck with it a little bit more. And so I'm going to be a little on the positive end and give it a 5.5.
I
Nice.
think so. Here's the thing. Like I'm actually totally fine if you like. I don't even know why why I have to say this, but like I guess I don't think it's going to improve if you try to play it again because it really is like the 14 DNA that I think like it's just it's like poison for someone like you.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I still think that I could have enjoyed the game more if like I just gave it the time of day a little bit more, and I was being like legitimately. I think even outside of the time crunch, if I was going into this as a game outside of a game I knew I was going to talk to you guys about, and I just shut my brain off a little bit, I probably would have enjoyed it a bit more.
I could say I enjoyed it way more than I was expecting to going into it.
Yeah, same here. I thought I was gonna hate it, and I ended up actually liking it a lot.
In any case, that just about wraps it up. I'm going to go ahead and turn off this recording.
Did you guys
All
make
right.
tier lists?
I did. We got one more thing.